Hey everyone, and welcome to Never Split the Party. This is a two-part of our one-shot from last week. I'm calling it No Rest for the Wicked as a continuation of our Let's Be Bad Guys theme. We'll be following a slightly truncated party as they help build up some antagonists that will show up in our future episodes of our Mostly Harmful campaign, which is our normal Starfinder campaign. I'm going to let everyone introduce themselves, reintroduce their new characters, mostly because I've forgotten all of their names. And then also, I'd like you guys to talk about where your character is like right now as they're entering their sophomore year at the Border Space Union Military Academy on Pyramid Station Alpha. I'm going to skip announcements tonight only because I want to rush through the game because last time we went late and I expect it might happen again if you guys are involved.
Okay. Do you want to start with yourself, Dusty?
Fine, I can do that. My name is Justin. I also go by the arbitrary nerd and much worse appellations when people are in the mood. And yeah, I'm the GM for most evenings, except for that one time Nick created an extendo room.
Which will probably never happen again.
because
you learned.
Because I'll be prepared next time.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess we were in different modes of thought.
Because the tech magic will never work again.
Next up, I don't know who's in the window. I think it's Chris.
Hello. Yes, my name is Chris. I play Torbrad. That's it. I was recently given the class of mechanic. Again, I'm still playing mechanic. And what else do I need to do? What am I doing?
What are you doing right now?
What am I doing right now?
Sophomore
Find the
year,
best tools you can.
Yes. Well, I have used a lot of my money and notoriety to kind of show off my skills in the mechanic field. It seems to be turning lots of heads as I get lots of recognition from the higher ups. Whether it be from pure skill or just my money, I'm not sure.
Make a diplomacy check.
2.
Yeah, it
Nice.
is not from your skills or your personality. You are paying money to influence people.
Here, like me.
I'm actually going to drop a point of charisma for that.
Okay.
Oh, for the viewers who did not catch last week's episode, we are having a very loose character creation episodes here, where I am arbitrarily removing and boosting stats that'll eventually lead into some really, really wonky NPCs for our future campaign episodes.
But probably really, really easy combat for our real party because we are really bad at this.
Not if Justin keeps getting wisdom, but we'll get to that when we get to Nazarim.
All right. I am Michael, and I am playing Karn, who is Vesk, and he became a soldier over the course of this year, and he has slowly and painstakingly absorbed every training that they offer, and he is probably butting head with a lot of other students. Especially if they're not Vesk.
I want 2 saves from you. 2 rolls from you. First, I want a fortitude save to see how the trainings have handled with you because you've done some really specialized training.
14 for the fortitude.
14 for the fortitude. You've managed to withstand most of the training pretty well, which has increased your constitution score by 1. And as a soldier, are you going strength or dex? I think strength.
Strength.
We'll say you also got a bit more swole over the remainder of your freshman year by hitting especially intrusive gym routines. So feel free to add another point of strength as well. What does that put your strength total at right now?
That brings it up to 16.
Thank you.
He's not that swole.
For the not as swole as Brawl.
Probably still deck Brawl though.
Stop that.
Rolls.
With Brawl's main campaign rolls possibly. Could I have you roll diplomacy to see how the butting heads has done for you?
Diplomacy wasn't one of my skills, so just straight charisma bonus.
Yep, that's fine.
5.
5. So where areas Torgrad had been making friends, you have made actual enemies. And I'm going to go ahead and embellish a little bit and say you have developed 3 enemies that you consider arch enemies. And to the point where you use the term arch enemies and arch nemesis, despite the others not quite following your verbiage. Uh, they are going to be a human named Loxink. That's a human male. It's going to be a female gnome named Mondi. And then we're going to have actually, we're going to have it's going to be a male Vesk who is kind of unlike normal Vesk, has been trying to really integrate themselves with the other cultures, and to have you as this holdover Veskarium first, aggressive person, they cannot truck with you. Anytime you enter a conversation, they try to social justice warrior you right out of it.
And what was that? You didn't give a name.
We're gonna go with Jarkus.
That guy's such a Jarkus.
I've already forgotten
I
the
was
human's
actually
name.
reaching forward for my mute button to make the exact same joke. Beat me to it.
All right.
Can I just step on Mondi?
What was that?
Can I just step on Mondi?
I mean, if that's what you end up wanting to do, that can come up. That might come up a little bit later. I'm also going to deduct a point of charisma from you for just being such a really big jerk. You got your con and strength boost, but you lose a bit of charisma.
Can I make an intimidate check on those 3 to get it back?
Not just yet, but maybe later. Yes. Next up, I don't know who's next. Actually, it's going to be Nazaram. Wait. Justin, are you muted right now?
No, he's talking.
We can hear him, but I guess the stream can't.
Angel, Armax, Scotland, can you guys not hear Justin? Wait, can you hear you? So you can hear us though. Okay, all right. So Justin, fix your ish. Justin's talking right now about all his issues, and you guys can't understand it. So I'm going to let Justin figure his stuff out.
Good thing we figured this out at introductions. Oh, you
Justin,
just
dig
changed.
into that. And Nick's going to give his intro. All right.
Okay.
Nick, go first. We'll go with Justin after.
I'm Nick. I play Schecter. He is a Barai Shirin who is extremely pale.
Karn's 4th nemesis.
Yeah. I almost said something. But I held my tongue. Still a little bit salty at that. Oh, how many banners do you take? I take all 3. Okay, I see how it is. As to
in retrospect, I should have burned too.
Oh, that I don't know what would have been a more of a jerk move, that or taking them all.
Well, that one wouldn't.
At least you got a demerit. Yeah. Okay, so you would have gotten another demerit, maybe. No class for Schecter as well. Not only did he roll outstandingly terribly, even if I did get the 2.
You did actually roll really well, except for once. One time it mattered.
Yeah, both for my class and then the one time I tried to, throw somebody into the big tentacle monster thing that was trying to eat me. As to what Schecter is doing right now, he still kind of a little bit salty after Karn did his thing, but he's gonna just be kind of under the radar, trying to instigate some small brawls going on throughout the school between classmates.
So you had last time tried to find a niche within the outcast of the school and end up being double outcast yourself. So now you're trying to do like little subtle things where you are pitting people against each other?
Yes.
I got 2 checks for you then.
Okay.
Stealth checks to see what you can do without being seen to get some of these things done. And since you are classless right now, let's give you a computers check as well to see if you can do it without actually being physically present, which might be another way for your double outcast self to make it work.
All right. First check is for the stealth.
Yep.
18.
18. Yeah, you're able to do little things like pranks here and there that lead to like open confrontations because you pick on some of the more confrontational students, the jocks, for lack of a better term, and maybe some of the elite in terms of they came from prestigious families, and you pit them against each other, and they have open brawls throughout the school every now and then.
Would that include Torgrad?
Yeah, Torgrad definitely gets mixed up in a couple of these.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure Karn does as well.
it's probably why some of what he has to do is like has to pay to smooth things over is because you've gotten into these involvement there. So for that one, what governs the stealth for your stats? Is that
That'd be Dex.
dexterity? Gain a point of dexterity. And
Okay.
for the other check, the computer's check, how'd you do?
So I was holding off on rolling that until the roll came up. Maybe trying to save some good numbers here. Let's find out. I got in that one.
How many demerits do you have right now?
1.
You now have 2 demerits as you got caught attempting to hack into private class records and like such as like grades and things because your job was going to be to change people's grades to make them antagonistic towards the faculty, and that backfired in a major way as they were able to kind of backdoor into your account access. They watched what you were doing for a while and then decided to put the ban hammer on you. So you've earned another demerit for that one, and you lose a point of intelligence.
Okay.
Is it 2 or 3 demerits?
3 demerits and you're expelled.
Or worse, expelled.
So we have right now, in terms of a demerit check, Torgrad, you have 1. You
Yep.
almost earned a second, but you have
Almost
1.
turned second.
Karn has 1. So Torgrad's 1 was for, I think, using. Was it saying that you would use pre-gap
Forbidden
tech?
Yep.
Yeah, so pre-gap tech was a big no-no in the Border Space Union military. Karn got a demerit for taking more banners than needed during the military exercise.
Explicitly
Nazaram
stated.
I got nothing.
got nothing, and Schechter, I forget what your first one was about.
I
pre-gap?
poorly answered something.
I think it was also the pre-gap.
Yeah.
stuff.
It was
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you've got one for attempting to hack records and not doing well. Demerits will come into play a little bit as well, where there is going to be a very much you do this or you get a demerit. So keep an eye out for that, those who are close. Nazaram, are you back? Justin, could you speak for a second?
I am speaking.
Lovely
people
chat.
can hear
you
me.
guys hear my wonderful friend Ustin with a J?
Picking up my mic, so I think so. Yep, I
Awesome.
hear.
here. Yep.
All right. Nazaram, please give your intro again, and thank you, Scotland.
So my name is Justin, and I'm playing Nazaram, a Riforian recruit. At the moment, he does not have a class, as he failed his wisdom check to become Mystic last time, even though he's got 18 wisdom, and also had a +2 bonus. So that was pretty bad. So what I would have been doing for this past year would be 2 things. My character comes from sort of like the Underhive type sort of area. Like he's I know Underhive's a different thing, but whatever.
I was gonna say I don't know that term, but keep going.
Well, that's from 40K.
I'm riveted.
He is basically kind of like an orphan on the streets or whatever is where he comes from. So he'd be kind of trying to make connections with people that are trustworthy for or useful for different things in order to kind of help sustain his school life here, and people that he knows he can trust to do very specific jobs is one thing. And the other thing he'd probably be doing would be trying to do what he did last time, learn the layout of the entire campus as much as possible, and train getting from one point to the next as fast as possible. Finding all little alleyways and secret alcoves, whatever.
Could you? What checks would you be using to do that?
Probably I was thinking Dex for trying to get around. Um, and I was probably thinking charisma for people.
Was the getting around sneaky? I'm sorry, I was fixing a slight technical difficulty, but I did fix it.
More like survival, like what you would need to do to get out, like in a pinch. Like if something were to go horribly wrong, how would you get out without being seen the fastest way possible?
Okay. Let's just go with. You know what? Let's make that an acrobatics check then.
Okay. Well, that doesn't change my thing at all. I don't have skills.
Well,
9. Ugh, nope.
9. No, not enough that I'm gonna punish you for it, but you don't quite succeed. I don't know if it's a matter of your speed or not. So what was you were what was the overall thing you were attempting to accomplish though?
Just kind of get the lay of the land in my head, and find the best possible like escape routes or anything I need in a case of emergency.
Tying to last time, because you had tried doing that in your freshman year, they now have a like tracker on you where you have some sort of monitoring at all times from the school. What's something else you're trying to do with maybe your classmates? What's something that you're kind of working on in that angle?
What I just said,
I'm sorry, I must have missed it.
which was just trying to find people that I can trust that are good at
oh
one
no, I'm
thing.
sorry, I did hear you. Go for a diplomacy roll then.
20.
You know what?
I did it.
Describe how you do that. Describe your success there. I want to see what you come up with because you've had some really crap rolls.
Well, I guess what I would have done is, I don't know. Why you gotta ask me this stuff?
I like putting you on the spot.
Yeah, I know. I'm not good at being on the spot. Anyways, so what I would probably do is, yeah, find people that are kind of like me, people that come from very similar backgrounds, and say, hey, we've got to work together to to make it through all the tests and everything. Not everybody here is, for us. They're not here helping us all the time. They want us for something. We need to make sure that we're always in control. Just kind of building up a repertoire of people I trust and can use.
That sounds well. It sounds a little bit like you might have been targeting the other Inquisition students. Is that accurate?
Anybody.
All right.
Doesn't
So
matter
for
who.
your testing, your class is so much separate from the rest of the school that there's very few times when the school comes together. There is a side quest where you guys may come together as a school this episode if we can get through it. So I'm going to give you, in terms of like general pop of the school, you gain a group of allies in the form of actually 5 different Yosoki. Name them however you choose, but they're like a little pack of Yosoki that came to the school together, stayed pretty tight. They were rough and tumble, came from an underprivileged area on Akaton, which
Miller.
may come in later. Miller's not a part of this. Miller's not at the school yet at this point. And they have adopted you, except I don't know if this matters to Nazaram. They've adopted you as if you were a Yosoki, ignoring the fact that you're about twice their height. But like they're all over you when you guys are together. Like there's no concept of personal space because that's not something they worry about with other Yosoki. That may or may not come in later.
Do you guys exchange cheek pouch contents?
No, ever.
Did I screw up? Oh god damn it! Hold on, I gotta fix grammar. This is more important than anything we're doing right now. Oh no, what have I done? Which one was it?
It was the where they players are building.
Oh.
Where is it? From campaign. Where the players. It was just a typo, right? Where the that's it. I fixed it. You can do it again. Although if it doubles up, I don't know how to fix that. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. All right. I'm gonna back and try and focus. Okay. So moving on from that, you didn't get your bonus to any of your stuff. Oh, give yourself a charisma bonus there.
Yeah.
You did manage to grab that. Oh, and you made one other ally, Patrick. Patrick, the other Inquisition student, and his last name is Serenus. Now you've gotten a little bit closer to him, Patrick Serenus. He is now a devout follower of Nazaram at the school.
Cool.
All right, thank you, Scotland, for double checking all that and fixing my ish. And we're gonna move on to we're gonna kind of shift into your first meeting with your sophomore year teacher. Then we're gonna jump right into an exercise, and then we'll see what we have time for from there. Questions before I get started on that?
Negative.
Nope.
Fantastical. All right. So Major K's was your half-elven drunkard instructor who I don't have his hat out anymore, so I guess you're not going to see him again. And now I'm wearing the hat for your second instructor, which is going to be Sergeant Elex, who is what was the race on that one? It was a bit of I'm going to go with it's going to be a female Shirin, Commander Elex, and they are a pretty distinct shift from your half-elven instructor. She is very prim, proper, and relatively severe. Also efficient is probably the best term I would use for this character. For Shirin, which is an insectoid-like race, actually not dissimilar from our friend Schecter, who is a slightly undead Shirin. Sergeant Ilix is darker in tone, probably coming from a planet with a lot of sun exposure, but that's all you get. She does not disclose much personal information. She does open your year with a little bit more explanation as to what your goal here is as Inquisitors. Your true purpose, cadets, which I know was only hinted at during your freshman terms. You are going to become Inquisition officers. There's more to that than just a title and a fancy wardrobe. Inquisition officers need to be able to operate as solo agents in the field. They need to be able to make difficult decisions without support, and often without time to spend on exhaustive research. And they need to get results. This group was put together based on our background checks, identifying each of you as having qualities we think will make you a good fit for this role. You aggressively pursue your goals. You make relatively astute snap decisions and then follow through on them. You aren't afraid to get your hands dirty. And with this last line, she shifts her gaze to Torgrad and Patrick. Or you come from breeding stock that exemplifies these qualities. Back
Who,
to the
me?
rest of you. She ignores your outburst. This program is to make sure we were right, to take those qualities and utilize them in the service of the Border Space Union, and to ensure your loyalty to our cause. Let me make myself abundantly clear. Not all of you will make it. As we saw with Cadet Garong, this can happen in the field, but we will also drum you out if any of you are not able to cut it. This is a new, refreshed Inquisition officer role in the Border Space Union, directly controlled by the military, and as such will be under a lot of scrutiny. Do I have any questions from you, cadets?
None from me.
Steve, you're a bastard. Steve in chat writes, never split the monologue.
Good job, Deb.
Any other questions from you guys?
Negative.
You want to address this instructor at all?
All set.
Mhm.
With we're gonna fast forward to about midway through the semester because I want to get to the exercise and I don't want to go through another exam like we did last episode. As fun as I thought that was, I want to stay more in the action for this episode. Could I instead have you guys make whatever check you would like to reflect your relationship with this instructor over the first half of the year. Whether you try to intimidate her into, treating you differently, or you try to be a suck up, however you want. Tell me what skill set you're trying to use and what your goal is, and then I'm going to make you roll against it. And of course, it'll suffer the same benefits or detriments of the other roles we've been doing. We'll start with Schechter. Go in reverse this time.
All right. So Schechter is going to make, I suppose it would be, not sure if it'd be a bluff. Essentially, he'd like to try to give off the aura of he is perfect for whatever it is this program is that they have selected him for. So when conversing with this teacher, he wants to he basically wants to tell her exactly what she wants to hear.
You have crap stats right now, right?
I do have crap stats.
I'm going to offer you a one-time offer. You can make a
Okay.
bluff check, and that can be your only check if you want. Or I will let you actually try only when the teacher is looking to try and exemplify all of these things. And I'm going to let you roll against each and every one of your stats and take an improvement or negative based on your roll.
I'm willing to do that.
Oh boy.
All right.
I'm going balls to the wall with this character. If it's gonna fail, it's gonna fail spectacularly.
For the first 6 months or whatever, I guess a semester is in 6 months. For the first 2 months of this semester, whenever the professor's there, you try to fake it until you make it, and we'll see how well you do. Give me a strength check first. You know what? Do we have any skills? Do you have any skills at all, or are they just based off of your primary stats?
Just all based off of primary
Then
stats.
we'll just do. Make your roll, and I'll tell you what it is. I'll storify it for you after.
10 for strength.
10 for strength. When you guys are doing there's an obstacle course you do, and it has things like, a rope climb, wall, climbing arms through the mud. You are just passable. You stay middle of the pack. You don't succeed in anything. You don't get any actual notoriety, but you also never fall behind. Usually that's Patrick. So instead, you don't get a bonus to strength. However, what is it charisma that governs bluff, right?
Yeah.
Let's give you a bonus to charisma. You get +1 to charisma. Roll me your next stat, which will be dexterity.
Dex is 17.
17. In terms of there is, let's see, I guess that'd be more constitution. I'll say though that over time, during those obstacle courses, you find that you're able to you have an extra set of limbs. They're like little arms kind of on the inside. Most Shirin don't use those. I think those are mating arms or they're like ritual arms. I don't remember the exact.
Yeah, they're mating and formalities.
Well, you use them like they are the rusty tool in the shed. You're already half dead, so I think some of the things you maybe don't worry about and like what your body should be used for. So like when you have to like mount something or get around something or clear something as obstacle field, you begin using those subtly to give yourself a boost. And eventually you actually manage to work those into your routine and you do gain a point of dexterity.
Okay.
Very quickly, let's go into Constitution.
Constitution is a 15.
A 15. At one point, you get when you get caught trying to change grades in the computer, the instructors actually set a couple of the more aggressive general population students against you, to the point where I think we have like a sort of like Ender's Game shower scene where they just kind of take you aside and beat the living snot out of you. Except it's mostly unliving snot, and you manage to come through it. You don't actually do the Ender thing where you kill one of them. You just take it, and you manage to actually come out of it pretty all right. They get tired of beating you up and walk away. You finish your shower, walk out, and some of the instructors were pretty impressed with your ability to just not die, I guess, at that point. So give yourself a bonus to Constitution, and we'll move on to
Intelligence.
Thank you.
Intelligence is 8.
Oh Jesus. I'm gonna think about what that actually does. Let's go to wisdom.
All right, ready for a -1? Okay. 16.
16. with your failed intelligence check, you were wise enough not to try and utilize computers again, which is good. And
He's learning. He can learn.
you did learn, and I think the instructor picked up on that. Like, okay, not afraid to try new things. So you gain a point of wisdom. As to what you actually tried to do, what is another skill that governs intelligence, or rather, that intelligence governs? Where is my
Computers, engineering,
Perception, right?
life science,
science? You know what? We're gonna go with
culture.
engineering, and you attempt to build. Let's see. You attempt to build a fake gun because you cadets aren't allowed to have weapons in the school. You attempt to make one yourself out of spare parts and put it underneath one of your other cadets' beds, with like some sort of incriminating evidence that it's from a different cadet, not you. Except you wrote it in the Shirin language.
Damn.
And yeah, you got a little bit caught there. So you're gonna lose another point of intelligence for that.
Okay.
And I believe that leaves us only with charisma left.
That is correct.
Give me the roll.
Hopefully it'll be good because I really want this character to be charisma based, and I get 10 plus 1 thanks to my only 1 point to charisma.
I'm not going to have that boost your charisma at all.
Yep.
However, the instructor, hold on, let me give the instructor at least a perception check to make sure that let's use the game rules. Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. She totally notices what you're doing, and instead of being annoyed by it or kind of put off or thinking that you're a bit of a stooge, she actually admires it. And you guys have a bit of a off again, on again teacher student relationship. We're going to call it extracurricular activities, but you guys are going to be looking for a host if it goes any further, if you know what I mean.
Okay, can I grab that name again so I can make a note?
That was Sergeant Ilex. And basically, you now have favor with the instructor if it ever comes up. Remember that. The favor of the instructor is kind of what the bonus is there. I believe that starts us with Nazaram.
All right. So the spiel that she gave in the start of this, huh?
In the beginning, yep.
Really resonated with him. Being able to make snap decisions and stick to them is kind of his thing. So he's just going to try to exemplify those aspects as much as possible in everything that he does.
Okay.
Which I would think would be maybe a mix of like wisdom and intelligence.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's give me a test of wisdom and intelligence. We'll see kind of like how you handle that.
Okay. All right, so wisdom. Yeah, what? So 18 is a +4, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 6. Did not do well.
Does not help you.
Intelligence. I have a +1 2 right now. 17.
17. All right. So you are smart enough that you kind of pick up on what she's saying, and you are able to regurgitate it back to her throughout the year in various amounts of like assignments you turn in. Like, there are written things. You guys do need to be like functional students as well, and you are always consistently able to work in all of the ideas that she's trying to instill in you. The lack of wisdom on that particular attempt means that you do it so often that it's very obvious. You do it well, but it is very incredibly obvious what you do. So the teacher thinks that you are a suck up or a teacher's pet. You do gain a point of intelligence for it, and I won't deduct a point of wisdom. And that'll take it to Karn.
So part of what she said is like the ability to go and like survive in like these harsh environments, more or less, or like harsh situations.
I'd say more harsh situations and environments, but you could definitely extrapolate.
So over the course of the semester, we'd probably try to show like overall combat prowess throughout the lessons and shine in that area.
Okay. So you focus, you triple down on your combat. You got the soldier, like you passed the soldier exams. You have your way in life. It is very honorable for a Vesk, the big bulky lizard man that you are, to be a military person, a lifer, in fact, in the soldier role and beyond. I'm going to have you make me 2 checks. I want you to check strength as I'm sorry. Let's make it athletics in case you did grab any bonuses there. And then we're also going to make a reflex save.
All right. So a 17 for the athletics.
Okay, yeah, you excel. You are present in any single exercise where the school like allows outside enrollment or involvement in terms of like physical prowess or military training. You join the school's splatter ball team, which is just space paintball. You join the school's whatever their you know what, their blitzer ball team. Like you take like anything that's like aggressive and you can kind of make like squad orientation, military oriented. You do really well. So you're going to pick up some bonus affiliations if they ever come up. They might not. They might be more main campaign stuff, but you do gain a point of strength for that, which I think puts you at 17 now. And what was your reflex save?
16.
16. Which roll me a d3. Nazaram is 1, Torgrad is 2, and go ahead and roll a d4 if you're using physical dice because a d3
2 projector.
I was just gonna do a d6 and divide it by 2.
Sure. 1 and 2 will be Nazaram. 3 and 4 Torgrad. 5 and 6 Schechter.
1.
1. I think that was Nazaram.
Me.
During a live fire exercise where you are testing grenades, Patrick accidentally lobs a grenade at an arc that isn't physically possible, causing it to bounce off of a wall and back into an entrenched area with the team. It originally aims directly at you, where it's coming down here. And with your combat enhanced reflexes, you just open palm, slap that thing away. It detonates on your classmate, Nazaram, blowing one of his hands clean off and putting him in the med bay for a number of days. He does get a replacement, so his dexterity reduction is minimal and his health reduction is minimal. But he now has a bit of augmentation and a permanent memory of 1, Karn being somewhat responsible for his wound, and 2, a fear of grenades.
Torgrad thought that was cool and high fives him.
Which one? The one that just lost an arm, or the one
that?
Oh goodness.
Schechter just knows that you don't trust Karn.
Yeah, Karn is not necessarily making the most friends out of all these people, but yeah, definitely Patrick's fault. But he did not manage to get a demerit because he weasels.
That's fine, because the only person he technically isn't making an enemy of is the other Vesk. So
Torgrad.
Yeah, that's fitting then for the character accidentally. All right, so a bit of strength and some additional involvement with groups, and you didn't lose an arm because that was going to be your hand that got blown off if you failed.
Hey, you know what? Cybernetic hand is actually better in some ways.
I want it to be like, again, I'm thinking of like villains.
Yeah.
Villains always have some sort of like weird robotic hand, right?
I mean, I'm already missing earpieces.
Yeah, you are a little beat up.
Do you have like the brightest white hair that you can have? Because that's also a villain trait.
He is a snow Rhyperion, right? Or winter Rhyperion, or whatever they are. So maybe. What were you gonna say, Michael?
I thought he was talking about Karn, so I was like, Karn has no hair. He's a Vesk.
No, touche. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Justin, for the image from the lovely Paizo. Which one is that? Is that the
That's the winter Rhyperion.
Yeah, Marine. But is that in the Alien Archive?
Yeah, Alien Archive.
Oh, I didn't know you got a physical copy of the Alien Archive. That's awesome. I'm running straight off PDFs because I'm cheap as all heck. Well, broke. I would totally throw money at those books. They're awesome. All right, so I believe we did Nazaram, Karn. We are with Torgrad. What's your take on how you try to relationship with the professor?
He is now a mechanic. He's a mechanic in training. So I was thinking that something might have gone wrong during a spaceship build, and he hops in and kind of takes control, directs everything where to go, as well as doing most of the heavy lifting himself.
So you board a ship that has issues, basically.
I'm thinking right in the hangar. I don't think we're ready for actual manned spaceship things yet. But putting together a spaceship in a hangar and something goes wrong, and he tries to kind of step in and be the leader, so to say.
Okay. Give me 3 checks.
Okay.
First, reflex save as part of the ship you're working on's engines goes critical and explodes.
All right. This plus 2, 3 plus 2, 5.
5. Okay. As we're doing this, give me a. I know this isn't quite accurate,
Mhm.
but I'm going to play this in towards your charisma a bit. Or
Sure.
you know what? What's higher for you, charisma or intelligence right now?
Charisma. I have a 12 charisma, 11 intelligence.
Oh, but you need intelligence as a mechanic, right?
Yep.
Let's go with intelligence. Give me a. We're just gonna call it a straight up intelligence check. Out of your lackeys, you see that this is gonna go critical.
Mm-hmm.
Pick which one that you can save the best and you think will be the most useful going
I'm
forward.
gonna say Skilly, the Skittermancer.
Okay, make
Yeah.
an intelligence roll.
15.
15. You realize with your bulk as a Vesk, you could actually get a number of them, and you know that even if you take this blast, which you could probably survive, you could come off really well if you save as many as you can. You tackle 3 of your 4 comrades to the ground as the explosion rips off your left leg, like leaving like viscous green blood and like bristled bone behind. Your 4th ally, who I'll let you choose who that is
Mort the human.
what was that?
Mort the human.
Mort the human is obliterated because
Sorry,
they were
Mort.
actually the one tinkering inside the engine, and it was them like I don't know, either turning a screw or using a tool you're not supposed to inside the engine block that just completely set it off. So you were able to save some. You're going to take an injury, so you're going to lose a point of dexterity, which I don't think matters for you. You do get a new leg, but it's like it's not as good. It never sets as well. So you lose a bit of dexterity from that, and I'm going to give you a point of intelligence because you methodically chose who you're going to save. That wasn't like a gut reflex that you just grabbed. I'm going to save everyone.
Okay.
You purposely let out Mort.
All right. And you said a third roll?
Give me another. I know I keep making you do this. Give me a diplomacy check.
Diplomacy check.
Yeah, diplomacy. Yep.
That's all right. 11 plus 1, 12.
12. When you later talk to the faculty about the incident,
Mhm.
especially the professor, because that's when we're trying to win over, you managed to describe it in such a way that not only was it definitely not your fault, it was something that you never could have done, and you did your best to save your allies. All of this was corroborated by actual facts. However, the way you gave it was enough that you, not getting any stat bonuses, you did gain the favor of the professor in terms of they almost feel like they owe you a favor because you are permanently maimed. Even with the biotech, it's they didn't really have anything maybe Vesk ready, so you're kind of in a slapdash job there.
Cool.
Good. That's all 4 of you with the professor, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Perfect. We're going to move on to about that 6-month gap into the actual like first exercise you guys have, and this is your first in the field live exercise. And Sergeant Ilex sits at her desk as you guys are all seated. And this includes, I know, I'm sorry, I haven't actually talked about them yet. In the class, the special class for the Inquisitor candidates, there is also Patrick Serenus, a human, and Delphinora, a Riforian female who is a summer Riforian. So a little bit different than our friend Nazaram, and they don't actually get along very well. Sergeant Ilex addresses the class, sitting very rigid at their desk. Tomorrow, you will take part in a. Nope, that's not the right one we're doing. I changed. Sorry, I switched around the order because I wanted to actually get to the good stuff. Tomorrow, you will be dropped into your first real life field exercise. A military garrison on a backwater moon, Parnithus, has gone rogue. They are holding military secrets hostage. It is your it is your class's job to infiltrate and solve the crisis however you see fit. You will earn points for originality. Being someone's sidekick in this exercise will award you no points. Inquisition officers, as I have said many times, are solo agents, rarely ever deployed as a unit, so act accordingly. There is no, that's actually GM notes. I was about to give you. There is a pool of XXX. Okay. Let's see.
Pool of what?
Don't do too good. You're gonna run out of points that he can dish out.
A pool of 2x. Oh, you know what? There is a pool of 1, 2, 3, 4, plus a pool of 10 points I will be awarding to the group. They are finite. Whoever gets the most points obviously will detract points from others. If you all get 2 points, that's an even spread. These points will be factored in as extra credit on your next class assignment applications. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yes.
I went roundabout, so I'm glad you got
What about those of us that already have classes?
You will be able to test into specializations, which are very rigorous within your different classes. For the GM speak, you have to choose if you're going to be an armor storm soldier or an X soldier or whatever. I don't remember the exact. So it's like 3 or 4 paths for a soldier.
Man, if Brawl needs to go toe to toe with Karn as an Armor Storm soldier versus Armor Storm soldier, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it's
I've
gonna be
seen
like
how
that episode of Pokemon Metapod versus Metapod.
Harden.
Right, but I've already
What a
seen that Armor
great
Storm
way
doesn't
to-
work well currently.
yeah. Michael, the player, has no interest in Armor Storm. Yeah, that's funny. All right, let's see. What else does she
Will
say?
not be using battle gloves.
Okay. You will be dropped at the edge of town and you will make your way in as a unit. At that point, I no longer care what you do to make this exercise interesting and so that you don't get picked up on the outskirts. You're going in unarmed. Questions?
Did she say what the main goal was here?
Oh, not quite. She hinted at it. I will have her fill you in now. Your final objective is to make sure that the military secrets being held are not able to be disclosed outside of Parnithus. I would, and the Border Space Union would prefer to have these secrets extracted. Yes?
What sort of intelligence do we might have on our enemies here?
You will be getting a briefing once you have landed.
Understood.
Anything else?
No.
No, we're
Okay.
good.
She let's see, how do we want to phrase that? I'll save that for later. You guys disperse. You have a night. I'm not going to go through. You have a night to kind of orient yourselves. Is there anything really quick you guys want to do with that night before you drop? Take that silence as a no.
I'm gonna try to hide some. I'm gonna try to hide some weapons, just like
Okay.
I did last time.
Make a stealth check.
Okay. 13.
Did you hide a knife last time?
Yes.
Same knife, same way. You managed to tuck it in wherever you hid it last time, and it's made of like carbon fiber or something non-metal, so it doesn't get picked up on any kind of metal skins they'll put you through. So you do manage to get that same knife as an equipment item.
Torgrad actually sharpens his nails, or his claws, rather.
Okay. And anyone else?
All set.
All set.
Yeah,
And
I think I'm good.
You could try practicing, pulling gigantic Besk.
I set up sandbags and then I just start tossing them to the ground.
None of the best fall.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Actually, I want. No, never mind. Never mind. I'm good.
I will never mind if that's what you'd prefer.
Yep.
All right. To bump you guys forward, you exit through a. So you go through the like administrative building in on Pyramid Station Alpha. You end up at the Nexus, which is that room of kind of really stark looking portals. You enter through one that you guys hadn't gone through before, and you are on a planet proper. It's a big planet, undisclosed. You guys aren't giving much information on it. I also haven't written any information on it, so I'm going to skip past it. You board a transport that gets you up to the moon in question, Parnithus, within a couple of hours. It's a fast shuttle. It's like not a very big trip for a Starfinder craft to make, and you land on the outskirts. You are dropped on the outskirts to a point where they avoid any actual sensors, and they tell you that your only contact is going to come right now to your data pads, and you will not be having any further contact. You are on your own from here on out. All right, so we have the whole team of you guys, which is you four plus Patrick and Delphinora. You are dropped at the outskirt of a. It is a relatively small city. The construction of it is slightly dated, where modern buildings on a modern planet are like really like smooth looking metallic structures that rise up into the sky. This was built a little bit more with functionality in mind. They're kind of squat buildings, squarish. It is not winning any awards for a good looking town. And it is very much originally built to support the military elements there, but a town grew up around it from their families and eventually their friends and eventually just some settlers. So it's kind of like a hodgepodge mix of, you got some wooden houses structured up next to military industrial looking metallic square buildings. You have some farmsteads mixed in with like academic buildings, and there's even like a small but pretty well off medical facility. When you guys are kind of passing through the sky, you kind of notice that there's a couple of things you can pick out from above. The town itself, you don't have a time limit on this mission, other than me giving you arbitrary time limits. The town itself, to walk from one end to the other, probably takes you about 2 hours, and it's a relatively contained circle. And the last bit of information you get is that the sensitive information is maintained inside a BSU R&D station, which is set. So you are on the south part of the town, the south outskirts. Slightly beyond the northern outskirts of the town, there is a cliff face that kind of cuts around, and it makes it into the town set inside, basically a canyon kind of thing. The research station is set inside the cliff face. So just based on how the town is set up, you'll have to actually walk through the town to get to the R&D station. Questions so far that I may clarify in this notepad for you before you guys move on?
I don't believe so.
Is there any type of like what type of races are common here? What type of races might stand out?
Yeah, as it's a BSU facility, the standard is that Border Space Union is made up of so many different races that you don't really have any issues blending in as a particular race. You'll find Shurin, Vesk, humans, dwarves, gnomes. You won't find elves. Almost nobody finds elves out in the wild anymore. Kasatha, and other like mixed races. Like you'll find some species that are a little harder to identify, like different species of lizard races. There are some sentient robots. It's an amalgamation. It's the town's population probably upwards of 8,000. It's a pretty decent sized um, city. It's kind of smaller than what you guys are used to. You guys are used to the overpopulation of the Pyramid Station Alpha and your own home planets. That this is it's a city, but it's on the smaller end for cities. I'm going to give you a bonus. Let's take an intelligence point for asking that question. I liked that. I'm going to give that to you.
Regarding the architecture, are we talking like 2-story buildings on average, or like they're skyscrapers at all, or not skyscrapers, but taller?
No skyscrapers. The canyon walls rise up very high up. I'd say they're, I don't know, 100 to 200 feet up. It's a big canyon this is kind of set into. The buildings themselves never get higher than probably about 3 stories, but I'd say 2 to 1 stories are the most common.
Okay.
Is anything else built into the canyon or just the BSU facility? Like actually into the canyon cliffside?
I see what you're saying. I'm gonna go with yes. On the eastern and western sides, there's like it almost looks like hives, for lack of a better term, and that's where a lot of there's a lot of residential areas inside of these like hive-like structures. Um, there's not too many residences except for the wealthy out in the actual city itself. The rest of the city is kind of made up of functional buildings and military buildings. All right, as you guys make your way into the town, how do you approach? Do you guys keep bunched up, or does anyone break off from the group of 6 that you are now?
Break off.
I break off, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you 4 are kind of going it solo. I'm actually going to have Patrick and Delphin Nora stick together for a bit, but you guys are able to. Again, the town is pretty wide. Like I said, it's like a couple hours walk where you can kind of infiltrate at different points. I'm going to have all you guys give me perception checks as you enter the town.
Oh, perception's my worst. Oh, I rolled an 18 minus 2, 16. Yeah.
I got a 13.
15.
10.
So that was Torgrad and Nazaram above a 15.
Yeah.
You two, where you guys end up entering, you enter through like main thoroughfares. You want to seem, I think, inconspicuous. When we go for now. Feel free to adjust that in a moment. And you notice that everyone here looks on edge. They're not like, you're not seeing an overabundance of military people out and about. You see like villagers, townies, people going about their day, interacting with the different businesses, etc. But everyone looks like they're like looking over their shoulders. They're a little furtive. You pick up like some people like watch you for a little bit longer than would be normal, but they otherwise don't draw like much attention to you at this point. You both also pick up on, I don't know, it might just be where you enter the town. There are info boards for like, you know, like a city will have like, this is how you get around. This is where certain areas are. You guys find info boards that you can interact with to get more information about the town. The other 2, which was, who rolled low? Was it Nazaram and Karn?
Karn got a 10.
I got a 13.
Oh, sorry. It was Karn and Schechter. You guys notice the tenseness. You don't get any immediate information in terms of like you don't find any way to find out more about the town. The buildings you guys enter near. Oh, hold, I have that note. Schechter. You land near a local tavern. It is called the parentheses. And for my friend Karn, you pass by like a local pharmacy and a couple of little shopping areas, but the pharmacy is kind of the bigger of the batch. Could I get initiative rolls from you guys so I can tell who I'm doing in what order?
Oh.
Ooh, I rolled high, but still -1, 15.
I got 15 as well.
14.
Who has the higher bonus?
I'm guessing Nick does because I have a -1.
Yeah, I've got a +2.
Okay.
I got a 6.
Jektor, then Torgrad. What was your roll, Mike?
14.
14. Karn comes right after, and then we'll deal with Nazaram. Okay. Schechter, I said you just entered near the local tavern. That's about the only landmark you have. You can walk deeper into the town. That's an option. You can interact with the tavern, or you can throw me a curveball.
I'd like to go into the tavern, see what the general talk of the town is.
Okay, so you're gonna kind of sidle in and try and like post up and just kind of eavesdrop for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's a way for him to kind of blend in as well, kind of just like not with a mission. Okay, let me go right to this. I'm gonna like settle into the town, try to make myself look a little inconspicuous.
Okay, you're gonna kill some time. It's gonna be kind of important. How long are you killing? How much time?
Anything from half hour to an hour.
I'm gonna give you a
Nothing.
full. Well, you know what? Give me 2 checks.
Okay.
I want a stealth check, which isn't you being stealthy, but it's you trying to like blend in. And then
Like
I
a
want
disguise.
sure.
I got a 4. Yeah.
Oh,
I think that was Dustin trying to throw you a bone, Nick.
I think so.
So you enter the tavern and like Western style, open the doors, come in. The entire tavern goes silent. You could hear the bustling noise from the exterior, and as you approach the doors, still making noise, you enter dead silence.
It's
All
that
eyes
scary
on Shaq.
albino Sharon
Yeah,
presence.
you are not causing suspicion yet, but every single person in that area has taken notice of you.
Yeah.
You sidle up, you maybe grab a drink at the bar, have you grab a seat, give me a perception check.
Okay. How about an 8?
That first half hour, you only hear a couple of people muttering, that thing looks effing dead. It kind of smells too. And I didn't even know Sharon drank alcohol. Dude, that's racist. You get a couple like just townies chatting in the bar, and you
Yep.
get no useful intel. For that second half hour, give me another perception check.
All right.
I don't ever roll 20 up because I don't want to see this travesty.
I've got a 1, not natural. I got a 2, -1. I think it's safe to say Schecter's going to be the science experiment, everybody.
I'm going to give you an option. You can throw another half hour at it while you try to learn things, or I can have you diplomacy try to chat some people up.
I would prefer diplomacy.
All right, we'll say another townie who entered in after you, after the first hour that you've been sitting there nursing a couple drinks. A townie's like sits down next to you, like really close, doesn't care about you being there at all. He's there to get his drink on. He don't care who's around him. Give me a diplomacy roll as you try to smooth him up.
I'm scared.
Oh my God.
I'm done. I'm done. Bye. Schecter's dead for Brawl is better rolling than Schechter, I guess.
What was the roll, Nick?
It was a 2 +1.
Okay, we don't have I don't think there's a roll window up, so let's make sure we do talk about our rolls. Yeah, all right. So what happens is the townie, you kind of lean over to the townie who's like ordering a drink, and what do you say actually? Tell me what you say to this townie.
Apparently I can't even make any words. I just
Burp in his face.
yeah, I go to introduce myself. I put down my drink and then just water comes out of like my mandible hole or whatever.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that, and a little belch comes out, and this townie, like he like takes one look at you, like recoils in disgust and uppercuts you. And we're gonna roll to see how that works. He grazes you, but it's enough that you back off, and I think you leave the tavern having lost an hour and a half with nothing good happening. Yes?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
You have marked up 1 point of suspicion because people are now watching you as you leave the tavern. Keep track of your suspicion, please. I'm going to ask you later what it's at.
God. Okay. You know, I have a plan for a character and none of the dice want it.
And I'm going to ask you to go to physical dice, Nick, while I'm going to the other place.
I'm going to grab them right now.
Please find tracking physical dice. Torgrad, you entered near an information board in terms of a building you're near. You're near like, I don't know, like little kitschy businesses. Like maybe you entered like a market street. So there's people around, but you see signs to the nearby starport. I'll say that you see some signs there. You also again have that information board where you can access more info.
Yeah, so that's what he wanted to go towards. He wanted to go towards the information board.
Yep.
And using some of the knowledge that he has picked up in class, he wants to see if he can kind of hack the directory and maybe get a little bit more information about our final objective. Maybe
Sure.
direct.
Two things. Give me a
Yes.
perception check and a computers check.
All right, perception. Oh, wisdom. 17. 17 minus 2, 15.
That's enough that you actually do get a quick look at the town. You have a rough map in your head, which lists a lot of things. It does not list the R&D station, but it lists a lot of things that I'll give you in a bit. And you do now. Give me that computer check.
Oh gosh! All right, this was 5. Oh, it got caught. 14 plus 5, 19.
19. Let's see. What would that little device have? That's not. So what you're hacking right now is basically like in Boston, like the metro sign, except it's digital. So you've hacked into this. I'm actually going to say that you're not able to learn any other information about it. However, you can screw with all of the other information signs if you so choose.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. How do you want to do it? Let me tell you what you see. I'm going to arbitrarily list these things, and I'm going to want you to try and remember them. Towards the northern part of the town is where the military parts start, and you're at the southern part right now. So in terms of that, let's see, you have the military part, the northern part. There's an armory, a barracks, an administrative building, and the starport is like it's closer to where you are now. It's probably about midway into the town itself,
And
the
just
city.
remind me, the starport is our final objective. Like that's what we're trying.
No. There's an R&D facility set in the far north of the city.
Okay.
Like you have to go all the way through the city and go past that to get to the actual R&D station. That was part of your intel. Starport is just another building. Those are the main military facilities. The Starport isn't quite military, but it's like half military, half civilian. And that's probably about the center of the town. In the we'll call it the west, there is a popular tavern that we just visited for a little while, even though I don't know why. In the center of the town, not far from the starport, is Town Hall. To the east, there is a popular school, or a couple of schools, we'll say. They have like a little school district. Also, to the east, there is a well-known advertised pharmacy, which we also, I believe, mentioned earlier. You are, I'll call you, you're probably just due south. You probably kind of entered like towards the middle, and you're at the market. And yeah, there's a cliff face. Let's see, and these things are all north, and center. That's about the big things. Is there anything in the town you'd want to look for that I didn't mention?
Not really. I think he'd just be making his way directly towards like very very north. You said is where our final objective. Yeah. That's so after he kind of got his information, he's gonna mess with it a lot. Like
Okay.
Basically, he'll kind of mix up north and west. So like west will be the tavern. I mean, west will be the military armory, barracks, starport, etc.
And west is north. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing goes for
East and south.
east and south. Yes, or east and center.
Okay. And so you're able to hack it. You're able to get that information. I'm gonna leave you there for now.
Okay.
And we'll come back to you in a bit before you go any further. I'm going to say that took you all of, just because I don't want to do half increments, I'm going to say you spent an hour mucking around with it.
Okay.
Because you want to do it like without like people watching you. So when people walk by, you kind of like do something else. You kind of look interested in something else. Oh, a butterfly, the vest watching butterfly. It's totally normal.
Is this a BSU mission?
Karn, I forget what I told you. I think you're at the pharmacy.
The pharmacy and some shops.
Okay, and some shops. What is your take on this town as you get in? What are you looking for? What's your angle?
First, I want to know is, do we have any money with us?
I'm gonna say you guys have a not unlimited budget, but you have a modest operating budget.
All right.
However, let me rephrase that. How much money you spend will very likely factor into how you are evaluated at the end.
All right. So what I wanted to do is go shopping, and while shopping for like common useful items, like say the equivalent of adventure kits in old D&D, stuff like old useful so like wire, like the hacking terminals and stuff like that, stuff that would be at like common stores.
Yeah, I'll
As
give you
well,
like
just
you could put together a basic kit. Roll me a perception check to see how solid it is.
um, 16.
16 will give you like you find a pretty rugged pack and you go through a couple of stores and you fill it with like generic stuff. Like you get some nice like Teflon rope. Always got to have rope. And I'll say for the most part, if you come across an obstacle that like a general pack kit item would solve, you've got it. Sound good?
Yep. And
Okay.
while I was doing all that, I was going to basically talk up like the shop clerks to find out, why people are on edge.
Good. Okay. So you do some intel research. Give me a diplomacy check.
Another 16.
For a 16 with diplomacy, you end up like as you're like buying some of this gear, you find like a pretty chatty storekeep. It's actually a what's the name of the race? A contemplative. Contemplative. I'm gonna go with that. It is actually a floating atrophied like roughly humanoid shape, but it's like really shrunken and tiny, supported by this massive like visible brain. And it only speaks to you through telepathy. Like it's a very like small floating thing. The biggest feature about it is its brain, and it talks to you through telepathy. And you strike up a bit of a rapport with it, despite it not being a Vesk. You've maybe encountered contemplators before, and you respect them for. I mean, in some ways, just how creepifying they can be for like a general soldier, because they can, if they really want, try and read your mind. What do you? Let's give me in character, what do you pose some questions to this contemplative?
So I've just arrived today and I've noticed everyone's on edge. Has something happened that I should know about?
Well, friend Vask, you have arrived at an odd time. We, well, not a bad time. I don't want, please keep buying things. But the local military establishment has had a bit of a political shift and it is affecting the mood of the town.
So are they turning against the rest of the BSU or against who would they be turning against at this point in time?
Well, I'm not so sure. I think turning against is a really harsh way of putting it. I think they're more going on strike as best as I can tell from the opposite edge of town as the military establishments.
Gotcha. Um, Thanks for your time, and I would leave.
Okay. What I'm going to say is, in terms of like what is useful for your character you got from that, is you at least got the direction of the rest of the military buildings. It does need to be in line with your goal to get to the R&D station.
Yep.
Because otherwise, you do not have that intel. All right. I'm going to say that took you 2 hours. One searching for gear and one like chatting up different people until you found someone who was talkative. And Nazaram, what are you doing?
Okay,
You
first
were
thing,
you were near another sign, and I'm going to say you're also near the school district.
okay. First thing I do is take a look at the information sign. Just kind of give it a glance over.
Sure.
Is it also jumbled up still, or because he got it to it before me, or?
I'm saying that just for the terms of mechanics, he did get to it before you maybe jumped to it because you're taking maybe a slightly slower approach. Again, just for the initiative bonus. Give me a perception check. No, give me a perception check and what would you do to see through an illusion? Would that actually be like a will save?
Probably. Yeah, that would be a will save.
I don't think this is the right way to do it, but like for
motive.
the terms of expediency, give me a perception and a wisdom. Sorry,
perception
will.
was 20 and nat 20, so 26.
So you notice everything, like you get like all the sign stuff, but as we just talked about, they're all kind of shifted. Like you know where everything is, sort of. So if you like were to navigate towards the starport, like I tell you like where it is, except wrong.
Do
Uh,
I at least notice that we were told that it's the facility is north of town,
So the
right?
R&D facility is not listed in the general information.
Mhm.
So as far as you know, that's still north. Everything else
Okay.
being jumbled doesn't affect that.
All right. And do I know that I'm near the school, right?
Make a will save to see if you catch. I don't know if I don't. It might just be a second perception check or something. But I'm gonna say let's make it a will
8.
save to see if you like take the time.
Well, actually, 8 plus 4.
Yeah.
So,
You notice right away something's off
yeah.
because like you're looking like maybe like even just like slightly past the board in your vision, you see the parentheses schools for gifted youngsters, and in your sign there they have that being on the opposite. Sorry. So you're actually in the eastern part of the town, and it has that listed on like dead center southern, so it's actually like half a town away from you based on what the map says. And I'm going to say that you can extrapolate that something's been shifted. um, I don't think you quite know exactly how it's been jumbled, but you could probably make some guesses that at least the sign isn't super useful.
Why
However,
would somebody do this?
you do know what the places are. So I'm going to say that you would recognize that if you ask people like around, you could probably get some orientation. Like, oh, I'm trying to get to the starport, and you could do it that way. And if you really wanted to, you could have that interaction and see if that might raise suspicion. But at the very least, you could actually get some. You know what to look for. Like otherwise, you wouldn't know
Yeah.
even what to look for. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I know that something's not right about the directions on
Yep.
the info board and not to trust it, basically.
Yes, but you know enough to like know what's in the town.
Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to search for any homeless.
Give me a perception check. And I know while it's a city, it's a really focused city.
19.
So homelessness is not. What was that?
19.
I will say that let's see. I said you were on the east. You kind of wander around for a bit looking for someone who's looks down in their luck, and you walk past a pharmacy I've mentioned previously, and it's just called Drugs and Stuff. That's the name of the pharmacy.
I got all my drugs there.
I'm so
and all my
tired.
stuff.
Drugs and stuff. And outside it, you see a guy who like has like something he bought from the pharmacy. It looks like it's a bottle in a like paper bag, and he's kind of sitting on the corner looking dejected. And in terms of a species, I'm trying to use species that we don't really see right now. I don't have my alien archive up, so we're gonna go for, you know what? It's a space goblin. Done. You see a kind of broken down, haggard looking space goblin, which I think is just a goblin, but it says space goblin, so whatever. Yeah, so you see like an old, broken down, slightly intoxicated goblin. No, shut up.
Okay, so I will approach the goblin and do you live around these parts?
Whoa! Oh, are you real?
Yes, I am.
That's what the last one said.
I'm looking for some information.
I'm looking for some money.
Well, I think we can make something work then. People seem on edge around here. Why might that be?
Didn't drink enough. Should try this stuff. I don't even know what edges are anymore.
He's got an accent too, an Irish accent.
Oh shit, that's no, he doesn't. That's just me talking.
Maybe just gets the maybe just gets the accent when he's drunk.
He's from Spireland.
Spireland.
Shut up. I wasn't trying to make it, but fine. I guess it's there. I've been practicing it so much for Dustinian in our normal show that it's kind of stuck. I actually do it in real life to my wife now, and she's sick of it. So
I
yeah.
do the
We
same
love
thing
you,
with
babe. Shut
Bostonian
up.
accent.
Yeah, it's bad.
Listen,
Please
I'll buy you a
continue your
lot
line of
more of that.
inquiry. He's suggesting alcohol to get rid of the edginess.
Yeah, I'll buy a lot more of that for you if you can answer me.
He like perks off the
Anything.
curb and he's standing up. He's not very sturdy on his feet, but yeah, on edge. You know, I'm a little thirsty right now.
You've got a drink right there.
He drops it and it shatters. Oh, well, Spoop, I seem to, maybe you take me inside and
You know, I was going to be nice to you. And this was going to be a simple, I give you money or booze, you give me answers. If you're not going to give me answers, I'm getting out of here. I'll find somebody else who's thirsty.
give me I'll let you choose. Are you being a little intimidating with your leaving? Are you bluffing, or are you just trying to straight up diplo this guy?
Pretty much just diplo him. Just
Okay.
let him know that I mean business. I generally just want answers, and he's not playing
Answering.
right. Yeah. That's
He's
not how
not-
we're not playing games here.
He's not sober enough to not play games.
I got a 17 natural, so I don't know what I'd be
Let's
adding
see what
to
his
that.
What is your charisma?
My charisma is plus 2, so 1.
19.
A plus
He
1.
rolled a nat 1, so he's like, Spoop, wasted a good drink. He gets down on his hands and knees, and he's now licking the slot, as he answers you. So ask your questions. Rephrase your on edge. Be more specific.
Okay. Who's in charge around here? Anybody I should know about? Anybody? Any bigwigs?
Yeah, real big wig, except he has no hair. We got those glass. Actually, the glass is kind of good. Give that back. There's a orc who runs the place. He's the military commander. Big brusque orc guy. Yeah, his name is you know what? We just call him Grim. He never looks happy.
Okay. Has he done anything lately to like mess things up at all?
Well, rumors on the street are that he I think he stole something. Maybe from the uppity ups. No, not don't know what. We're kind of kept out of it. You'd have to go to the northern part of town. Maybe talk to some of the military folks.
Okay. I don't know if a cred is like point at all, but
So you could give him like a cred stick that you like to note down to a credit.
yeah.
Probably not worth the cred stick you're handing to him, but yeah, you could do that.
Okay. Well, however, I'm going to kind of show him, hey, I'm giving you this much right now, for that question. But also, do you happen to know anybody that can get into places? If you know what I mean.
You know, you know,
I show him kind of a larger figure on the
I'm
cred
not
stick.
particularly sober right now, but I'm pretty good at getting into places just so I could find a place to sleep and all. But yeah, we could. I could help you out.
Hmm.
Uh,
Very
His mouth is
getting
bleeding
into
at this point.
dangerous places, by the way.
Look, I'm very drunk. I don't care.
You don't know anybody that does it possibly for a living at all?
You're asking the homeless, friendless goblin if he knows anybody.
Well, you're looking at a homeless and friendless Riforian, and I know a lot of people.
Are you just rubbing it in? I don't like. I don't think. Why you gotta be like that, man? I don't.
Well, thank you
Whimpers.
for your help. It's been. Here you go. And just gives him the cred stick with like
Make a
just a
perception
little
check.
bit on it. 12.
You catch him attempting to pick your pocket as you hand him the one cred stick. His other hand is reaching around behind you. I think because he's a little bit drunk, he actually grabs maybe like a butt cheek instead of like your wallet or something, or like your pouch wherever you keep your cred stick. So he's clearly trying to pickpocket you, but like anyone else probably would have noticed that they're not being subtle, but like he's like so inebriated that like he can't really feel his hands anymore. So he's like still like going at it, like even though you clearly noticed.
Has to get a few clenches in there.
Yeah. A reaction from our Riforian. What the hell's your species? I can't remember.
Roll an attraction
just,
check.
I just look at him with disdain, pathetic, as I just walk away.
For pacing, I'm not sure how this affects you, Dustin, but it is just about 10 o'clock.
I'll move on. Nazi, you're a terrible bad guy. I'm gonna say that takes you about 2 hours to go through all that nonsense. Schechter, we're back to you.
Okay. How fast are we gonna try to expedite this for like 10, 30?
Let's try. You know what? Let me go for that. With what you picked up with your first bout, what's your goal? What did you learn?
What,
you learned
what I picked up.
nothing.
You mean all zero?
So you're
No,
at
you
the
did not get Zero's information.
you're at the tavern, which is in the western part of town. You know enough to go north. I'm just gonna say you move in north. You're not getting enough from the town. You move up north. I'm gonna roll a 1, 2, 3. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just gonna roll a d4 to see which one you find. You stumble across. Eventually, working your way through town, you spend. We'll say I'm gonna call it 2 hours, kind of making your way slowly, unobtrusively. You eventually stumble upon on your way due north to the military administrative building. It's a bigger building. It's probably one of the 3-story buildings. It has like a public entrance, and a little bit farther than that, you can kind of see like the outskirts of town, and you see the far cliff face now. And you can kind of it's a little further away, but you can kind of make out the structure built into the cliff face. What do you do?
So this is it is owned by the BSU, right?
Yep.
I'm just going to walk in if I can.
Yes, yeah, you can walk in. There's no one stops you as you kind of make your way through the and like the admin building. There's a couple of like wings that you can go up and some floors and some listings of offices and like different officers that be found there and kind of what those offices would do. But at the very like front area, there is like a security check, which you can make it through fine, and then a like a coordinator's desk, like one of those round info booths that you like a desk that you find like at a Barnes and Noble, and they kind of stop visitors who don't really know where they're going and like offer directions / verify that they should be there.
Okay. When it comes to this person, I'm just going to hopefully use my charisma.
It's
maybe
a human woman.
Okay.
In military garb, but not like armor, but military garb. There you go. So keep going. So you're going to try and use your charisma and smooth. What's the information you're trying to get from this woman?
So basically we're just trying to discern like these secrets, right? So I'm going to see if they happen to know anything as that coordinator as like what we're actually trying to get like about this leak of information that we're trying to
Yeah, sure. Roll me diplomacy.
All right. Okay. Physical dice. Gotta blow on it. Oh, okay. That is better. That is a 17.
So you eventually get chatting, and the approach you take is you fake it till you make it, which is going to be your character's trait, I think. You pretend like you already know because you have some background info that there is an issue. You pretend that you know about the issue, and you kind of go with the approach of, eventually you kind of get some rapport with her. You're not looking for anywhere, you're just chatting with her, and that doesn't happen to her too often because she's so much like go here, go there, do this, do that. You kind of drop the line of, oh, and what exactly did they find anyways? Like, what's the fuss? I don't even remember if I heard. And she gives you back, I think they found some sort of weapon specs or something that's kind of hush hush. And now the uppers here, especially Grim, are trying to get some compensation for their knowledge.
Okie dokie. After that, I just is there like a I want to ask her without being like, oh really? Either like the or is there like an information board around here with like a directory or map?
Are you looking for like a computer terminal or specifically a directory?
Uh computer terminal would work. But basically I want to see like something about like, okay, this section military, go over there, or like
All right, so you're looking for
Grimm's
like a directory, or are you looking for like a building directory?
building directory.
Well, like when you're looking, like, are you trying to get in touch with Grim? Is that the idea?
Yeah.
She says, oh yeah, there's a computer lab you can use, but I mean, Grim and all of his soldiers, which is why you don't see any soldiers kind of roaming the halls here, they're all hoarded up in the R&D center, which is north part of town. I mean, you were heading that way, right? You said that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you'll
All right.
find them all there. Don't worry about it.
Oh, thanks for that information. Yada yada. All right. Keep up the hard work.
So are you making your way north? Is that the plan? Is that your kind of last option?
Yeah. Is it possible or I'd ask her for directions from here to there, just to so I don't fumble around town.
Yeah, you go due north, you'll pass the barracks, and yeah, you'll be at the outskirts of town. You just keep going past. There's a road, you can't miss it. You must be new in town.
Yeah, I've spent an hour or so over at the tavern.
Are you on duty?
Not at the moment.
Right, well, get out of here before you get me in trouble. Schechter, that cost you 3 hours. Torgrad, you're up. What is you got a pretty decent layout of the town. Knowing expediency is your goal, part of your mission. What's your path to try and, like, what's your next stop?
So what Torgrad's going to do is try to find a vehicle. He wants to, Grand Theft Auto.
I'll say you find some like hover bikes, not like speedy
Perfect.
ones, but like a hover moped.
Yeah.
Or you could probably find heavier duty vehicles in the starport.
Well, that's farther up north. I'm in town right now, so I'll start with the regular motorbike and head up to the starport.
Give me a engineering check to see if you're able to kind of like jury rig it so that you can work one that's locked up.
All right, that plus 5. That is a 17.
I've got a quick point. First, I owe Schechter take a charisma point. Karn, I forget what you did already. Talk to people. Give yourself a charisma point as well. You managed to do that, okay? Nazarim. I mean, you caught you really didn't trust the person. I'm going to give you another point of wisdom for that because you knew not to trust the goblin. Not that goblins are bad, but that particular one was a litlittle shite.
And Nazaram's going to be the wisest bloke there ever was in the whole damn galaxy.
That puts him at a 19. Torgrad, give yourself a point of intelligence for that engineering check. You are able to get hang of a moped, which is going to cut your travel time down to almost nothing. So you're able to kind of navigate through the city, saving time. Where's your next stop?
So you said the starport's along the way. If my
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, sure. Let's make my way to the starport.
Sure, it's a moderate-sized starport, like you'd expect in a city. It's not over grandiose or anything. It's no fancy, but it has like half of the starport is given over to like the military, which is structured off. Like you wouldn't really be able to get in there too easily, and then the other half is like civilian crafts. But that also includes like not only just like pleasure and travel crafts, but other people's like smuggling ships or not. I mean, let's say transport ships. They're not out and about smuggling ships, but transport ships and things like that. So there's like armed vessels, no matter where you go, if you were looking for something like that. But otherwise, the starport doesn't have anything of note other than maybe some access to vehicles.
Well, let's see here. And how far away is it from here to my final objective, the whatchamacallit that I'm trying to get to?
On your moped thing, like an hour maybe.
Yeah, and how far away is the military base from the starport?
With the moped, say a half hour. With the moped specifically, you can get there and navigate there about a half hour.
Okay. Torgrad's going to try to create a diversion. Kind of raise heightened security and whatnot around this area. He's going to go to the nearest vehicle and rig it to explode.
The nearest what to explode?
Just the nearest vehicle that isn't his moped.
I will say that there is like a military convoy truck that's not like attended right now. They were using it to load up one of their starships, and it's kind of hanging out like on the curb as you drive by, unattended. And you could probably muck around with it if you want to give me an engineering check.
I was gonna say, like, maybe he kind of figured out while in his mechanic schooling and whatnot that feedback loops are actually kind of easy to create. In fact, you actually do a lot more of those than fixing in the beginning. So let's see, a nat 20.
You're able to time it if you really want to, like when you want it to go. You could set it to be a pressure plate for when someone sits on it. Basically, however you want to create your little terrorist bomb, you can do so. In fact, you can even
God,
get
I didn't think I'd get this far.
You were able to get it where the wheels can be like, you can't. I mean, you don't have the keys to get the ignition going, but you could set that thing into like roll down a hill or something if you really wanted.
Let's see. Yeah. Can I do a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B?
Yeah. What are you trying to have it do?
Roll it down a hill into like a wall with a timed explosion. So it like crashes, creates a diversion. Kind of people bring people around, then it explodes.
Jesus. Yeah. You set it off rolling, and where are you going while that's creating your distraction?
I'm going to the final objection because I want to get in and out as quickly as possible.
All right. It takes you, like, you set that up. It's only give it 2 hours because you finesse it a little bit. You had to get the moped, and then you have to travel. I'm going to say you're skipping straight to the R&D area, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Karn, what's up?
I do believe I figured out where the R&D was, and I was going to be heading there.
You knew where the military buildings were, which is the northern part of town. The R&D has always been past the town north. That's part of your base intel. You already had that info.
All right.
So if you want to head straight to the R&D center, you totally can.
Actually, I suppose I'll. Is there any type of like factory districts or anything like that?
Not that you're able to tell, but anything factory wise looks like it'd probably be part of like the military, so it'd be probably the northern part of town. Not a heavy industrial town.
All right. So I suppose I would head north towards the military bases then and look in, well, just see what I see, I guess, to start with.
Let's roll you a D1, 2, 3, 4. You rolled a 1. You find the armory. You come up across the armory on the way to the R&D center. So you travel for about, I'm going to call it 2 hours to get there, just because you're like looking around. But you do find what is like a BSU armory.
And how is it like heavily guarded? Is there people around?
There's a posted guard in like full military outfit, armor, and a rifle, kind of like not at the ready, but like available. And the building itself is like a squat little 1-story structure that goes like pretty deep back. It does seem to only have the one entrance with the guard.
Right. Is there any like windows or anything that would be unattended or like out of his vision?
No, the building very specifically is meant to be a secure structure. So really, he should be the only way in and out without you having to do something extra. Give me a perception check.
16.
You did hear an explosion go off about an hour ago or like a half hour ago ish. In terms of intel, I'm gonna say that's something you might be able to use to distract the guard with if you were smoozy enough.
All right. So I'm going to run up to the guard
Yep.
and basically almost in an intimidating way, or actually in an intimidating way, basically say, all right, get out of my way. I need to get equipment to go help secure the area where that explosion came from. More or less, I'm trying to be intimidating so that he doesn't like check for credentials. He just gets out of the way because he senses the, you know what I mean?
Give me a double roll. Well, no, we'll start with intimidation. Go for intimidation.
So that would be a 19, or sorry, 18.
I'll say 18 is enough. He definitely heard the explosion, so he's already looking kind of panicked, and he hasn't gotten any like confirmation over his comms as to what to do yet. And like as you approach him, he's like, "Oh, all right. Well, I mean, this building has a secure lockdown. If you just hit that like on your way out of getting gear, I'm already geared up to go. Do you want me to head over? I think it was coming from the starport."
Yeah, they'll probably need everyone, all hands. I'll
All
lock
right.
up on my way.
All right. Yeah. Get your stuff. Meet me at the airport. Make sure you hit that secure lockdown on the way out, though. All right. So I don't want anyone else getting in here. I have a pass card if I need to get back. So don't worry about that. I'm running. And he kind of huffs off.
All right. So with that, I'd like to go in and fully arm up, and specifically, I definitely want to be in like BSU attire.
Perception check.
10.
You don't find any of like the nicer stuff. You're able to find like basic, like you get like a nice rifle that you're able to use. You maybe find a couple of grenades that you're not afraid of. You don't get anything super fancy, and there are some fancy things in there. On the way out, though, posted up against the wall next to the door is a set of Jarl Slayer power armor. It is the top-notch brand of power armor that is available to most folks. There are like I'm sure more power armors coming out when they release their next manual from Paizo, but for now, this is like a top-of-the-line model, like dwarven like construction and design. Power armor suit that would be a pretty difficult thing for like normal military folks to like overcome.
You can't have that.
This reminds me.
Wait, no, take it so Brawl can take it from you.
Oh, he's taking it.
All right, I think technically you're not able to use it, but I'm going to allow it through Sinead. Let me see if there's any.
You need a powered armor proficiency, technically.
I'm just. Oh, you know what? You gain power armor proficiency. Done.
Why am I helping Karn?
Your armor check penalty is now a -6. Your max dex bonus is 4. You have a speed of 20, so you are moving slower when you get into the Jarl Slayer armor. It is a level 15 item I'm giving you. It has an inherent bludgeoning attack for 2d8 points of damage. It is large. You are big in this thing.
He just starts, toppling buildings.
It's shaped like a stocky, heavily armored dwarf with articulated hands.
There is a picture of it in the book. I should have a bookmark on that page.
I am the Hulkbuster. That's what you're telling me.
You're kind of in like a Hulkbuster outfit as you leave the armory. You do have
and I do lock the armory like the guy asked.
That was my question. Okay. For that.
That's what he's wearing.
Do I have the Gatling gun?
I don't see that listed as a normal weapon, so I'm going to go with a no.
It's probably an attachment.
If you want to look up the attachment, I'm gonna say no. You know what? Your perception check was shit. Spook. You got a just a basic combat rifle, like a level 1 combat rifle, and your level 15 armor. It looks like, because of the way it's set up, like the noisy cricket almost from Men in Black, without the effectiveness. And I'm going to give you a point of charisma for being able to smooth the guard, or actually intimidate the guard, but it's still charisma. You spend an hour searching that and getting into the Yaros Slayer armor. I'm going to say you head out to the R&D station.
Yes,
I'm assuming you forego any subtlety at this point.
probably.
Okay. Not anyone's necessarily stopping you, but you're going to earn 3 suspicion points as you truck through town. Just keep that in mind. And it's going to take you, so that cuts your speed down a little bit. You were still at least an hour and a half. I'll say it takes you another full 2 hours to get to the R&D station. Nazaram,
Right.
you got some info from your goblin friend, and what are you doing with it?
I'm gonna first go pick up some more stuff, kind of like Karn did. Some survival gear or whatever, just kits at a general store, just to be prepared. And then I'm gonna head up to the R&D. Make my way up north.
Give me a perception check to see how well you get yourself out.
22.
You get pretty well kit out. You get like a basic adventure kit, like I had told to Karn. You also get like a multi-tool, which is useful if you were trying to dismantle anything. You also kind of stumble upon like a magic oddities shop, and you pick up a spell stone of magic missile or some such. Spell gem? I think it's spell gem. And you also find an unscrupulous arms dealer, like a shop that like sees you like kind of looking through stuff, and like he slips you like a small pistol as well.
Cool.
So you are able to get some. Yeah, I'll say that takes you about an hour to accomplish all of that, and then you head to the R&D.
Yep.
And that'll take you about 2.5 hours. I'll bump it up to 2, 3. Bump it up. So you're actually pretty far along there. In terms of who gets there first, Torgrad, you get to the R&D center first. As you get into it, it is a building set into the cliff face. As you approach on your moped, you do notice that there is a security checkpoint at the door. Like there are people guarding the door. There are, we'll call them just 2 soldiers. One's a Vesk, one is a human, and they're full up, armored up, ready for trouble. And as you approach, they halt you. And what's your business here?
I slow down and I stop and.
One question: would you approach them, or would you try something sneaky in the front? There's one way in and out, but I'm picturing you as like a terrorist at this point. And I'm wondering if you don't just you don't try to set your scooter to just blow up.
Oh, ooh, yeah. Actually, no, that would be a great idea. I go right for the guard post itself and jump off last minute.
Give me I'm going to say the engineering at this point you got. I'm not going to make you do the check for that. Give me a reflex save as you jump away to make sure that it doesn't like affect you at all. Your leg kind of
his other leg.
13 plus 2, so
16.
Yeah.
16.
You jump off. The moped goes straight. Like they see what's going on. As soon as you jump off, they're like, oh no! It hits in and poof, just detonates, blowing them on either sides away from the door. And I'm going to say you bust open the main door a bit.
Did they drop their weapons? Because I want to pick up a weapon if I can.
Let me see if they shielded any weapons. Yeah, okay, yeah. You managed to pick up like a little assault rifle.
Nice.
Not like a level 1 basic assault rifle, and you're able to get into the compound.
Right. To which I will immediately attempt to lock behind me.
You blew the front door open.
Oh, right. I'm thinking there was like a separate guard post.
No. Like they were like in front of the main door. You use that as your breaching weapon and your clearing the way weapon. An alarm does begin to sound as the explosion goes off, but you do have access to the R&D station. And when you get in there, there's like a little lobby with like a computer's desk, a receptionist desk, and no one's actually at the desk at this time because they weren't expecting any visitors.
Right.
There is a computer terminal at the desk.
All right, head to the computer terminal.
Give me a computer check to see if you can get it going.
Come on, 9 plus 5, 14.
You get the computer turned on. You don't get any special access. Like you're just not able to get in far enough to hack enough of it. But you actually gain access because like you find a password on the desk or something, and you can manipulate it. What information do you look up quickly?
So I'm just trying to protect data, right? Or like,
You're trying to make sure the data cannot leave this area with a bonus if you can retrieve it.
okay, yeah. Then I will attempt to retrieve any data that I
You
can.
get like a pretty quickly an error message pops up, and you say that that data is only accessible in the main server block in the east wing.
All right. Well, I shoot the computer and I make my way to the main.
Okay, Han Solo. Thank you.
Yeah.
Schechter, you're actually the next one to get in. It's about an hour later after like this explosion has rocked the place. There are a couple. There's like we'll say that there's one like more heavily armored guard who is like kind of like going through the rubble and like checking on his comrades as you finally get to the R&D center, which is a building set into this cavernous wall or cavern wall, I should say. And the door has been blown apart, and there's like signs of an explosion have happened as you approach.
So at this point, just to make things fast, if
Oh, I'm sorry, Schechter. That should have been. No, you do get there next. I'm sorry. I'm going by order. Who gets it? Yeah, it's you. Sorry, keep going.
Okay. I would like to or does this man clearly notice me?
Oh yeah, they're on high alert. So when you come up, like they've got their gun like trained on you as you approach.
All right. Same kind of spiel. Like, well, I'm here to see Grim, orders of the BSU. Fake it till I make it. Just like, hey, this is why I'm here. I need to see him now. It's important. Additionally, which is gonna make things kind of more difficult, I'd like to try to sleight of hand one of their sidearms, perhaps.
You'd like to what? So sleight of hand with the side. So there's only one dude right now, and I need you to make a diplomacy check with disadvantage, because the way you phrase it is you came in order of the BSU, except they're actively in rebellion against the BSU. So you now need to convince them that you're some sort of diplomat, willing to negotiate terms on behalf of the
So I rolled nat 20, which unfortunately I didn't get, but then I rolled a 17.
A 17 is going to be enough, and that would have been a bluff, but I don't think you have any ranks in bluff. So you are able to bluff your way through that. Half because you have no weapons on you. And I will, if you want to make your sleight of hand, you may, but just know if you fail, this dude's shooting you.
Yep. Yeah. I'm ready for it. Oh, thank God. Oh God, that was an 18.
18. Let me give a quick perception check. I rolled a 15, which is good, but not good enough. Yeah, as they are like inspecting you and patting you down to make sure you don't have any weapons. Again, your little arms that are supposed to be for like mating and formals, like reaches out and like plucks his pistol out of his pocket as he's like reaching around to like feel around your carapace, and you just like tuck it back in like your private spot. That's right, little arm like private spot. And yeah, you enter into the facility with a pistol. That first area with a computer terminal has been shot out. There is another guard in this room, like saying, like, "Oh, come on!" They're trying to like get the computer working again. And they ignore you because they clearly see the guard that you just got past, like let you go. So you're cleared. Where do you go from here? Like, what's your strategy?
So from I would actually probably address the I might address the guard, ask him if he's seen Grim. The one after the blown up computer terminal.
Grim's over in the West Block. He's in the command center.
Okay. Then I would head off to the West
Done.
Command Center.
An hour later, Nazaram appears.
All right.
Nazaram, there is a guard now posted at the door, gun at the ready and drawn at you as soon as you come into view. The door has been blown open, yada, yada.
There's no way to go around. I know this is built in a,
into the cavern wall.
Yeah, into a cavern wall. There's like no way around, right?
It's supposed to be
Only
a
that
secure military
single place
science
in.
facility with some sensitive info in it.
Okay.
So no.
There's no way I could check for any sort of back door at all before actually going through the front door.
You know what? Give me a Hail Mary perception check. If you roll a 20, I'll have you find the escape hatch that you guys did not find in the computer files because you didn't quite go for that. But No, so no, you just don't find anything. You just don't
Okay.
have enough information or intel to go into this, and you're going for expediency, especially since you see that some of your allies have already kind of gotten ahead of you.
Yep. Okay, then I will approach, I guess.
Do you have a weapon?
I do.
Are you going to go for like a diplomacy approach, or are you going to go guns ablaze?
Diplomatic.
Okay, go for it.
Okay. So yeah, I'll just approach. I've been sent from what's it called? Not BSU, but the other ones here.
You've been sent by someone in town, like
Yeah,
the
somebody
the
in town.
barracks in town.
Yeah, I've heard that there's been some commotion here, just by kind of picturing the the scene around. Like, hey, something's not right here. There's explosive, whatever.
Yeah, you think? Uh, who sent you? Give me a bluff.
Yeah. Okay, let's see.
I think
So,
you're getting shot, but give me a bluff.
yep. 20.
Oh, for reals?
Yep.
Yeah.
Not
Very
today.
funny. Get in there. I think Grim's looking for recruits. I heard some gunfire inside. So get on in. I can't leave the door. Go, 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 quick.
Going.
Grim's in the west wing. In the west wing.
All right.
Do you follow his instructions? Head to the west wing.
No, I'm actually gonna go up.
For a picture. There's west,
Yep.
east, west, and due north. You can kind of go deeper into the facility.
Yep. I'm going to go up to somebody else and just
There's
say,
still a computer technician still trying to fix the like smoking crater of a computer at the receptionist desk. They're not having much luck. I think they're bringing in a
Yeah.
new monitor unit at this point.
I'm gonna ask, what's this about?
I don't really know. I didn't do it. So I'm gonna blow up the front door, shut up this piece of junk, and now they're somewhere in the facility.
Oh God, everything's compromised. Where exactly are the I asked for the directions to wherever the documents would be held.
Like secure data would be
Yeah.
like okay. I mean, if you go do Vac Center, you'll get to the actual prototype area. But if you go to the east, you'll get to the server room real quick. Well, not real quick. Not real quick at all. It's actually rather a
I'll go to
job.
the server room.
Okay, so
thing.
you're heading towards the server room.
Yeah.
Karn, you show up an hour after that, and for clarity's sake, it took Torgrad 5 hours to get to where he's at, and Karn, you took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours to get there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess Schechter and Nazi should have started at the same time, but we'll retcon that. So Karn, you show up in Jarl Slayer armor. What's your approach to this guard? Like, what's your approach to this guard as he's standing up the door? He's like stepping back a little bit. He's got his gun trained on you, but like he knows real well, like he is not holding the right weapon for this.
So when I approached, does he say anything?
He said, halt. What's your business here?
Do I know Grimm's name? I'm not sure if I ever actually.
I don't think you do.
All right. So obviously there's been some commotion here. I've been sent to go protect the information, and I'm just gonna insinuate that he knows what I'm talking about.
Steps out of the way. Eastern wing.
So basically, he's heard the same thing from like 3 people.
Done. Eastern wing. I don't even care. Eastern wing. He leaves. He walks. He's like, I'm done.
Anybody else could just walk in.
Yeah, anyone else
Go
could just
for
walk
it.
in at this point. Patrick and Delphine walk in.
Let's be honest. If you looked at the stats for Jarl Slayer, there's not a single person here that can touch me.
No. As you step into this lobby, the computer tech stands up rigid and is like, do you acknowledge them at all? East wing, you were told, is where the data is.
That's where I'm going, right?
Yes. It's
That's
also
fine.
where Torgrad went.
Oh yeah.
So I'll ask the computer tech. Do you know if anybody's made copies of the data for safekeeping, or is it only stored on the main server?
Oh, only on the main server. We just got the specs. We hadn't even had to bring it to prototype. We We just knew what we got was so good that we, well, who are you again?
So you failed to make copies and you left yourself vulnerable.
You can't make copies of this, then it reduces the value. How are we going to make any money if they think we're still going to sell it?
Clearly, somebody's here trying to destroy it.
Well, we didn't think this was going to happen. Who are you again?
So I actually pick him up with the power armor. I don't crush him.
Are you sure?
Wait, actually, let's make a check. I mean, I've literally learned to use this, 6 hours ago?
Give me an engineering check.
7.
No, you crush his windpipe. You're just trying to pick him up and move him out of the way, but like,
Sorry.
It had to be done.
all right, where are you headed from
no
there?
loose ends.
So with that, I guess I'm heading to the East Wing.
All
Actually,
right.
did you have any stuff on him? Like,
Not useful enough that it's gonna matter. Like maybe like a security key card if you needed it. You basically remove his entire like waist where it was hanging though, instead of like finessing it. Like you just remove like a hip bone comes with it. Torgrad, you make it to the server room before any of this stuff happens behind you. There are 2 guards posted outside of it. What's your take on them?
Are they armed? Are they pointing at me?
Not at. Oh yeah, actually yeah, because the alarms are going off. They like quickly both pull guns up at you, and they say, "Halt! Who are you? Identify yourself."
He shouts out, "I've been sent here to protect the data.
We're already protecting the data.
I've been sent here to help this more."
Bluff.
All right. Bluff is charisma. Oh, please.
Uh-oh.
13.
What?
13.
Not quite enough. They don't open fire on you, but they're about to, and you see it in their eyes. Let me give you 2 options. Bum rush them with your body, try to take them both on. Maybe you can disarm them and kill them. I'm going to make it a series of checks and tests as opposed to combat. Or you say, you know what, I'll go back and get commander's orders.
Bum rushing them.
Bum rushing them. All right. So make a rush. I'm going to say like you just trying to like throw your weight on because you didn't get any weapons at this point.
Oh, no, I have an assault rifle.
Oh, you picked up an assault rifle?
Yeah.
Screw it. Give me a reflex save to see if you shoot them first, and I'll give them both reflex saves. And I'm just going to
17.
What was that?
17.
17. I've got a 13 and a 7. Yeah, you managed to like quickly pull up your gun and you just like this is America style. Quickly like sweep it across the door. You knock down 2 of them. They just go down. Done.
Yeah.
You've got access to the server room. When you go in, it's got the cool blue tech lighting. It's got a main tower server with basically an entire room full of cool
Alienware.
It's got like Spalienware logo. And what's your goal? You destroy it or you try and hack it?
So, well, first off, I want to download all the data.
That's an attempt. You have to integrate with the system, which is going to require a hacking check anyways, because there's no real interface.
You actually have a hacking kit though?
Yes, I'm a mechanic.
Yeah, yep, that works.
Okay, yeah.
He also would have been able to find like a unit in the room if he needed it. That's not.
I know Chris's intention with this character was anti-Miller, but he's really just playing more of an aggressive Miller.
A very aggressive Miller. Yes, actually. That's the whole case. That is the reason why they are rivals. I got a 16.
Give me, first of all, grant yourself a point of dexterity for that really quick reflex save you did there.
Cool.
And in terms of like the hacking, you get like basic access. Making a copy of the file would require you to spend more time.
Well, I mean, I have to get out of here too.
Yes.
How much time would I know? Would I know?
No.
How much time did it take me to get down the hallway and do all this?
I added another hour.
All right. I will. I'll destroy it.
Okay, so you're going for the straight up destroy.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to pause you there. Schecter, you get to a door that is unguarded. It is an office door. It has the uh, I don't know, Lieutenant Corporal Hargrim. I don't know what actual military ranks are. Whatever. It's the base commander Hargrim. You get to the door. It is closed.
All right. I would try to open it. I mean, I don't think he would. Yeah, no, not him. Okay, I just try to open the door.
The door opens, slides open,
Yeah.
and Commander Hargrim is standing over a terminal which has like a couple of panels open, like transparent, like completely energy panels, and he's like shouting orders to different people on different screens and coordinating them. And he notices you come in and holds up a pistol from his pocket while still commanding orders, and he's got a gun trained on you.
So I want to make either I suppose it would be bluff check to be like, hey, stuff's going down. I'm here to extract you. We need to get you out of here ASAP.
Make a bluff.
And then hopefully, should I change the die that I've been using, or do I keep?
What is it?
Is it a 2?
It's
Please
not
tell
a
me
2. It's a 7.
A 7 has him shoot you.
Yeah.
And 1 is a head. 2 and 3 will be your arms. 4 and 5 will be your legs, and a 6 will be straight in the heart. It's a 1. He shoots you. A bullet goes off into your head, and your right eye is now a crater as you kind of turn with the blow. So it just scores out chunks of your flesh. But you are like you've got like a definitely eye. Your eye's missing now. It's a bloody, massy pulp. And he in the middle like interrupts order. Want to try that again?
Is it Batman?
I'm Grim Man.
What's your reaction before you start like passing out from losing blood?
I would go to cover up like my eye or like the area where I've just been shot with my main hand.
Yep.
And then I would with my tiny hand
shoot back. Yeah, give me an attack roll.
Okay. Oh, why did I? No,
Am I gonna find
did,
that
you didn't
check
see
there?
that. Not
What's the roll?
great. Again, it was like if it's shooting a gun's dex based,
Yep.
Yes.
then it was an 8.
Your shot careens off into the room. He dives for cover now that you've opened fire at him at least, so he's not like completely drawing a bead on you. What's your next reaction to this?
Now I would try to intimidate him into coming with me.
Yeah, make a bluff check or an intimidation check. And
Like
you'll talk about how you have the place surrounded and you've got the
100.
backing of the border space military.
That's a 15.
15. Let me give him his charisma is probably crap. I'm just gonna give him an opposed check. He rolled a natural 17. He comes out and shoots you again.
All right, Schecter's dead.
Well, what we got? What was 5? Oh, lose your right kneecap, just blown out. You're no longer able to
Do anything.
see.
Yep.
And over the comm, you hear, "I've got one of them in my office. Come collect them." And we're gonna move to Nazaram.
Okay. So
You actually hear this as you're about to venture off into the server room.
all right. I can tell that's probably not a good thing for the mission in general. That's probably one of us, and really the most important thing is finishing this mission regardless of what happens.
Yep,
It's
so far so
true.
good. So
Yeah.
you continue down to the server room? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Just give it to me.
No, I wouldn't.
You don't?
No.
You go for the commander's office.
Oh, actually, wait. Hold on. That's a tough decision. I don't give a crap about Schecter. but the
You also
the
don't know it's
no,
me.
but
Yeah,
the
you have
chance
no idea
of
who it is.
getting to be face to face with what's his face with
The leader?
Grim, like easily, that is not a bad thing.
Make your decision now and forever hold your peace. Red pill, blue pill.
I'm going to the server room.
All right, you intercept Torgrad as he is just about to destroy all the data with a wipe. Like he's like the hand button is coming down on the delete key as you enter the room.
All right.
Tackle him.
Ooh. Oh, had I known you were here, I would have gone to the prototype room. Were you able to get anything out of there?
No.
Hold on, let me try really quick. I'm gonna give it a shot.
Torgrad, you try and delete it even though he's trying to jump in?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna need Nazram. I'm gonna need you to try and push him out of the way. Like, give me just a strength check, or we'll call it an athletics check, as you try to just force him off of the terminal.
Okay.
Opposed athletics check. So
Alright.
I need one from Torgrad as well. You're doomed, by the way.
I got a 16.
18.
Damn it.
Oof! The Rhyperic comes in, like body checks you, like, and you kind of slide out of the way. You actually have his access, so you have a little bit of a bonus to this hacking check. Give me a computer check real quick.
With 8
Oh,
enough?
4. Oh my god.
What was it?
4.
A 4? Yeah, you set off the security, and now the system locks you out.
I told you.
And were you the one that made all these did all this?
No. It was here when I got here.
Sense motive.
I got a
21.
Oh yeah, no, I'm blind.
He's lying. Yeah, like there's like part of his clothes are still smoking from the explosion that clearly he walked through after causing. Yeah, he reeks of explosion.
Do you understand how much danger you put all of us in and how much you could have possibly screwed this entire mission up?
Do you realize how much danger you're in now as I point the assault rifle to you?
I shoot him in the face.
Oh god.
Let's do that.
Make an attack roll. But let's have you both make an attack roll. We'll do it Red Dot style. 19.
That would miss.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Nazram,
Yep.
what was that? What'd you roll?
3.
Oh, actually, I got an 18 because -1 to. Oh no, I got 19 because I got that plus bonus to dexterity. Never mind.
I'm rolling a d6. See what we got hit. A 1, dude. Your eye with your chipped off ear. That eye, poof, blown out of your head. Lots of eyes going. We watched Thor Ragnarok too much before this, and you're like flung back. Give me a fortitude save.
Fortitude?
Yeah.
I have a +2 con.
Schechter's already half dead. It wasn't that big of a deal for him.
Yeah.
11.
11. You don't necessarily pass out from it. So I'll either give you the option. You can play dead, or you can try and get another shot off at the Vesk.
I'm gonna get another shot off.
All right, make your
10.
attack roll.
Come on, get on my. No, I got a 5.
Yeah, you keep shooting and you just miss the second shot. And
All right, this isn't getting us anywhere. Fine, whatever.
What? Oh, wait.
oh, you're not shooting anymore.
You're hitting the eye, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, obviously, like,
So
not feeling
Torgrad
too
just
good.
kind of face palms him out of the way, just like,
Jeez.
get out of my way. As he just kind of pushes you out of the way, just not hard, mind you, just kind of pushes you.
Mhm.
He's not throwing you to a lake monster.
I'm not throwing you to a lake monster.
Jeez.
Are you leaving the server room, Torgrad?
What's that?
Are you leaving the server room?
I press delete before he gets to it.
Well, you were locked out of the system, so all you get
Oh,
is
that's right.
error, insufficient credentials. And at that point, we'll fast forward a little bit, I guess. As like Torgrad goes to leave, a giant armored suit fills the hallway coming down towards you.
It's all you, bud.
What do you do, Karn?
So I see that they're Oh yeah, I'm not attacking you or anything.
Yeah. Do I know that it is
Does the Jarl Slayer have a face mask? I don't remember.
No.
And then yeah, you can tell after like a moment's panic
Oh,
that it is Karn, the other Vesk in your class.
all right.
Lock him in the server room.
I was shot at by the what is your class, Justin?
I don't have one.
I mean your race.
Rhyperian.
Oh, Rhyperian.
Rhyperian, that's right. I was shot at by the Rhyperian. I came out on top.
And
Puts
you
out
walk
the
past.
hand, but puts the hand up for a high five, but doesn't actually try to high five him.
I high five as I walk by him.
After certain sensitivity things, he doesn't try to.
Good call. I'm going to give you
Very
a point
good
of wisdom
call.
for that. Thank you. And actually, for your successful shooting on an eyeball, get a point of dexterity, Torgrad.
And as I walk by him, I say, we couldn't download anything. We're locked out of the system. Destroy it if you can.
You follow instructions, Karn, or not?
Does the I'm actually going to try going up to the computer, and I'm going to try using the computer text access card.
Yeah, that gives you another stab at hacking. It doesn't get you in, but like it gets you like it resets the security, and you're able to try and hacking again if you want.
All right, I look to Nazaram and say, "You have one chance."
Well, okay.
And
What?
no, I'm telling him to help me.
Oh, okay. All right.
well,
Nazarim, do you aid another?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Good, because you would have got squished.
15.
All right, and I got a 16. Actually, I have really low intelligence, so make that a 15.
Not enough. You're
Well,
able
it's
to get
17 with his +2.
Yeah.
Yeah, 17 isn't enough. I think that's what Torgrad had rolled as well, right? You get access to, you have the ability to like manipulate the data, but you can't download or make copies. You would be able to delete it inside the server itself if you wanted to, though. You do have the delete key active again.
I do delete it, and then after it's deleted, I physically destroy the servers.
Okay, perfect. You just shatter it. All right, gain a point of wisdom for that, making sure that the physical item is destroyed as well as the data. And what would be a survival thing for Nazaram for going along
Survival?
That's wisdom.
Wisdom? Another point of wisdom, man.
Oh my god.
You're crap and everything else, but you are wise AF. All right.
And
You
then
guys
I was gonna look for
Did
Grim.
Torgrid get charisma for telling him to, or
telling him to what?
tell him to destroy it?
No.
Okay.
No.
Too
If
vague.
I didn't
If
listen.
anything, you get ineffectiveness as your reward there. Going back to the Schechter incident.
That is where I would head next. I imagine that's actually probably where everybody would head next, but
you guys, wait. Is anyone not extracting?
I'll tell Karn about the prototype area. And
Prototype area is
suggest that
a wash.
Huh?
It was
Oh,
a
it's a
waste of
wash.
time. Like
Okay.
if you go in there, it was to see if there was a prototype, but the terrifying
know-
Jarl Slayer armor figured that out.
yeah.
It was just a distraction.
But I
I'm
didn't
actually
tell him that, for the record.
Well, I was
I'm
gonna bring
gonna-
it up to you and say,
he wouldn't
hey,
have. He would have said. He would have said, "Yeah, go."
oh, yeah.
Karn's the only evil dude here, apparently. Well, maybe Torgrad's doing well. For going back to Schechter, who has been like pinned down in like a really terrible gun battle with the orc.
Somebody who has a class and
both Patrick and Delphinora come running down the hallway screaming, each carrying rather junky pistols and like just blasting down into the room over you. If either of them misses, they're hitting you. They're both going to try and hit this guy.
Yep, that's I made my bed.
They both hit. And in terms of what body parts they hit, I'm going to give the same roll I've been doing there. He gets killed. I'm going to say Patrick accidentally misfires and shoots him right through the heart, bringing him down dead. I'm going to say like the rest of the military forces end up clearing out. You guys end up getting out of here with the data, everything. You guys extract. Patrick actually does pull Schecter out. He does kind of carry. Delphinor does not help with that, but Patrick will help, like on his shoulders, like kind of drag you
Oh,
out.
what a nice guy.
Oh, that means in the story, Patrick's gonna have an effect on him later down the road.
So you did get saved by Patrick, and you guys exit. You guys are eventually extracted from the field. In terms of points, let's see. I said there was 10 to give out. Patrick's going to absorb at least one of those. Torgrad, you gained access to the facility. You caused a distraction, which is why there wasn't any actual military presence in the building. You got there first. That's 3 points right there. Schecter, you actually went for an alternate like way to succeed in the mission. So that's going to be a point for you, but I think that's all you get because you kind of sucked.
I just can't roll.
It's okay.
I'm
I
not good
sucked
at
too. I
rolling.
didn't do anything except get shot in the face as well. So.
Nazaram, I don't think earns any points.
No.
Karn, you got the Jarl Slayer armor, which would have put you way above any of their military forces. You successfully destroyed the information, so I'm going to give you 2 points. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 2 more points to give out. Nazaram, you did make it there, and you weren't last, so you're going to get a point for that.
I had no suspicion.
Me neither.
What? No, you did, didn't you?
I had
No, he did
zero
not.
Oh,
suspicion.
you had
6,
0.
7, 8, 9. I only have one more point to give out. Delphinora made it as well. I'm going to give it to her. You guys burn it. Schecter, you have 1 point extra credit for your exam. And you know what? Let's make the rolls now. You guys eventually come back. In terms of like the talking down that you guys get when you succeeded in like the base parameters of the mission, you get complimented Torgrad on your improvisation. Like you improvised the crap out of that.
Mhm.
You're actually going to get a point of intelligence in terms of your character sheet for that, because not only did you like manage to create like several decent explosions, like you had like a cohesive thought with it.
Mhm.
You
I
even
was
like
I was actually thinking I was gonna get demerit, and I was ready to rebuttal it.
oh nope. They liked everything you did. Even shooting Nazaram was totally fine. No demerit. In fact, at least one like Delphinora high fives you when they find out like that's. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, Nazaram. Do you tell who shot you in the eye?
Yeah.
Okay. How many demerits do you have, Nazaram?
0.
You get 1 for getting shot by friendly fire in a mission where you could have avoided it. Very clearly, like they are being absolute jerks to you for like
Oh, yeah.
being butt of that.
No, that was actually.
You're not in the wrong, but they're
huh?
telling you are.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, first of all, that was kind of a really like split-second decision. I probably wouldn't have done that, but like.
Yeah, that's a low wisdom move, right?
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
you
That
know
was
what?
to me like as a player, I screwed that up.
I'll let you take it back. You good with that?
Huh?
You want to take it back?
No, I won't take it back. I mean, I did think that he was kind of jeopardizing the mission a bit. I didn't know that he had already gotten all the stuff. So, had he, I mean, he got us all in and everything apparently, but it just was kind of a, not a
The
great
only
way.
point that I asked you was like they asked you like, hey, how did this happen? What's your answer?
Oh,
They're specifically talking about your effed up missing eyeball.
that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really
Dang.
say much about it. I don't think I'd tell them Torgrad did it.
All right, I'm gonna get you a point of constitution for like just taking it basically. So you get a point of constitution, and you do not get a demerit. You only got a demerit if you
follow-up question is, would Torgrad brag about it?
That's a good question. Yeah.
Does it come up, Torgrad?
It would, yeah. He wouldn't brag about it, mostly because now he's kind of getting an idea that, holy crap, all these people who are supposed to be on my team are trying to kill me.
You also pointed an assault rifle at me.
Oh yeah,
which is why I chose to fire instantly. I think, even though
Pushing
it was
past
pretty
because we're hitting 11
low-wisdom
o'clock
thing.
right now. Torgrad, you get like publicly reprimanded, and like you have to go to like a detention, like a detention. But like sitting at your desk at the detention, it's a notice that your 1 demerit was revoked, so you now have no demerits.
All right.
And what I want you to take away from that as a student is that you are a solo agent. You never know if the Inquisitor officer behind you is a double agent or not. Or like
Oh,
you
yeah.
just have no way of knowing. You're not tied by loyalty to the the office.
And that's how
Or
it
they think you're loyal to the border space.
this particular mission.
Okay, so that worked for you.
It's Schechter that ruined it for me.
Karn, they take the Jarl Slayer armor from you, and they tell you it's going to be a graduation present.
I don't fight them on it or anything like that.
Okay.
He crushes their skulls into.
I mean, the battery life is probably close to dead, so I probably couldn't beat them.
Yeah, I think it's like actually, I think it's like an hour on a charge.
I'll say he had a couple extra batteries, whatever. Schechter.
Yeah.
I think it's actually only 20 minutes. I'm not sure what the power armor batteries are for charges.
They don't have anything to say to you, Schechter. They get you sent to med bay. They didn't
appreciate my approach of taking a body with the information, or
No,
attempting to
they
take a
didn't
body.
appreciate your approach of getting into a bar fight, arousing some mild suspicion, getting successfully no useful intel, like really, and then like marching straight into the R&D. Admittedly, we didn't have enough time. There was a lot of different diverging paths for this exercise. You guys could have really gotten a lot more info from, but we just ran out of time. And I knew that going into it. That's why we didn't do the tug of war I had beforehand. So you get no accolades, no nothing. They let you go. They repair you with spoopy prosthetics.
I'm not even delightfully average. I'm awfully average.
Schechter, you are to sit for your test first. What class are you testing for this time? It's your second and last chance to apply.
Oh, I already
It's,
rolled one, by the way.
Icon for me, and I need to make a 15.
You mean envoy, but yep.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Icon was what, the theme?
Yes.
I don't make it.
You don't make it. So as they are like you take it while you're still in the hospital bed, and as they get your final score in, they just close your laptop for you, like your computer terminal.
You're done.
You're using. And they say, "Congratulations, you've been accepted into our very special program. You're held down by 3 burly-looking creatures: one Vesk, one half-orc, one other like large sentient robot or something, just something like. And
Is one of the Vesk Mir Torgrad?
No. These are like officials and medical staff, and they begin pouring a black viscous fluid into your throat.
Uh-oh.
And that is where we leave Schechter until we see him again during Mostly Harmful. Torgrad, you already have a class. You have 3 bonus points. Get your specialization, and if you're going for a drone or if you're going for exocortex.
All right, so that'd be my intelligence. So that's a +2 plus the 3 that you gave me. So this +5.
Yeah, it's a 15 for you to get to choose because they're both going to be intelligence, so there's no reason to switch that up. So yeah, what'd you roll?
24.
24. What class? What specialization? Do you get the drone?
Drone.
Okay. Torgrad, you have been promoted, and you've got 2 more years where you kind of gain the rest of your skills, and we'll kind of. I don't know if we'll come back to this ever again, or if we'll just see them as like their finished versions. But I'll have to like update some of your skills so you get like a baseline. But Torgrad, you are a drone. I forget the actual mechanic version of that's called, but you are that. Karn, you get to test into what class of soldier you want.
So I feel like I'm almost being forced into Armor Storm because power armor.
Actually, the Yar Slayer armor doesn't help Armor Storm soldiers at all.
It really, you're better off wearing a lower version of power armor if you're going to be Armor Storm.
Correct.
No,
So actually, like having that as your background means that you probably don't want to go Armor Storm. I'm going to make a test though. I need to see what the actual different classes are. I don't know what they are though. I don't know where to find those really quickly.
I have the
It's like
marked.
112, 115.
112 and what are the different classes? I don't see them. I'm on like a wiki.
So there's Arcane Assailant, Armor Storm.
So there's Arcane, Armor Storm. What else?
Blitz.
Blitz.
Bombard, Guard, Hit and Run, Sharpshoot, and I think that's all of them.
Yeah, that's it.
And I think I was leaning towards Blitz, which I think is the
the insane dex. I can move like a bajillion.
Did you say sharpshoot?
Blitz is actually like the easiest one to test into. Arcane and Sharpshooter are the hardest. Hit and Run, Blitz, and Armor Storm are the same tier, and then Bombard and Guard are in between the high tier and low tier. So if you want to test into Blitz, all you have to do is beat a 10.
All right. I think I was leaning towards that one because it's the melee one, and I feel like with that power armor, melee would be
Sure.
like implied. And I rolled a natural 15, so.
Okay, yeah, you would have had access to, 15 plus 16, 17, 18 for your extra credit. Plus, I think your strength.
Yeah.
You could have tested, you have the access basically to test it to anyone you want.
I have a feeling I'd still end up choosing Blitz because
okay,
I feel like
that's
the other
fine.
ones focus more on working as a team.
Karn becomes a Blitz soldier. Nazaram, are you testing for Mystic again?
Yep, I got 22.
22. You finally make it into the Mystic program. You guys have kind of like graduated your sophomore year, your upperclassmen time.
I didn't.
You did not. Well, you did kind of, but when they see you again, you're just you're
a shell of my former self.
Not
shell of a
so
shell
much.
of your former
Actually, if there's
self.
anyone they could have done that'd be a little low key, it was you, because the change to your physical self from what they did to you isn't going to reflect that much differently than you being like half undead. So that works out. No. Nope. I'm going to let that one go. That's going to be a surprise that isn't going to be much of a surprise when we interact with it later on in Mostly Harmful, our main campaign. Do you guys have any parting comments before I give a sign off?
If Karn shows up and we're not 10 levels higher than we currently are, we're fucked.
That's entirely possible.
I don't think any of us can actually hit him with that armor.
I was kind of hoping that would see Miller.
Miller's next year. Had we gotten into the junior year stuff, there's actually a car race I have planned that Miller was going to try and pay or like bribe one of the other members to screw over Torgrad with. And if we don't get to it, that'll be part of the canon anyways.
That's fine.
But I'm not worried about coming back because we got at a good point where you guys kind of have class futures. We kind of know what's coming from you guys, and I can work with that in terms of what we see later on.
Cool.
If for some reason we have to lose Patrick again, we can do Let's Be Bad Guy session if you guys haven't encountered them yet, but we're not in any rush to do so.
I would just like to mention that for my class roll this time around, I rolled the 6. I just don't do good with rolling games. I'm not a very lucky person.
No, that's fine. You need to do play Fallout where you actually get a luck stat to boost and fill in the blank. No, that's totally fine. I actually am happy that you did that. It does mean we're gonna get into some of my like weird stuff later if we do that, but that's fine. I'm cool with that. All right, so signing off. Thank you everyone for watching this second episode, the No Rest for the Wicked episode of our Let's Be Bad Guys Starfinder unit. Next week, Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. EST, we'll be rejoining Patrick for our Patrick the player, not the character, for our normal Mostly Harmful campaign, where we are, I think, going to find out the fate of Brawl's family on Verses. We will see these characters again, 1 to about 3+ years into the future, depending on when they encounter them, with some like, the timing will change some of them a little bit. Expect to see these villain-ish or antagonist characters in Mostly Harmful, and if I know someone's coming up, maybe I'll do like a little like a melee spoiler or Super Smash Bros. Spoiler where a new enemy approaches or whatever the hell they say, a foe appears. What is the language there, Nick? Help me out here. Smash Bros.
Either or actually depends on
a new challenger.
New challenger approaches. That's what the ticket. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'll give a little like a spoiler alert for that when one of you guys is coming up, so that way people in the chat or in Twitter can hang out with that. For now, I'm going to hang out for a little bit for the after party because we are a little bit late for that. Usually we do that from 10:30 to 11, but obviously this is a kind of a one-shot special beast. For all of our viewers, thank you again for watching. Please see you next Tuesday. Hang out for after party if you have any questions, want to chat. And to everyone else, remember, never split the party.
Yeah,
Schechter.
All of us.
it's definitely Nick this time.